Yeah, I mean, massive size coming in really, really short term, and I'll just go back to yesterday, and then we can actually look at it a little better. Pop this here. Yeah, just, I mean, the way it was hitting that feed too, just tons of ask side. You had a little bid side coming in
There
there,
we go.
but I mean, that 43,000 contracts traded at the ask versus that 16,000 looked very, very interesting there. Got a little dippy there, but just continued to run. And like you said, Nick, there, most of that carried over. I'd say that whale's in a majority of their positions still. Plenty of time on those, 51 days out, 9% out of the money here. See if we can kind of get a read on it too when it came in there. Usually when you see it come in like that, you already kind of have a good idea of how it looks there. It might be a
Yeah.
little goofy
And it
here
looks
for
like they're
me.
trolling around break even today. I didn't see any exit volume right away out of the gate either.
Yeah, let's just go
They're
back here
still they're
quick.
still vibing. See, we only got
Yep.
560 volume today, and there's still a little green based on their average fill, but it's sizable enough with enough time that I bookmarked it, and I want to keep an eye on that into the
Yeah.
future as well, because they got months on this thing.
Yeah, definitely interesting. And it doesn't overlap earnings either, so you don't have to worry about that, which is usually one thing I'm always watching, just make sure it's not overlapping earnings there.
And so, would you be leaning toward buys on these?
I would say they're kind of buys. I like the way it hit the feed. Let me actually go back to the feed here yesterday. Let's go back to yesterday. Oh, if I could spell, that would help. Intel, I mean, just the way that hits the feed there. I mean, you, you almost still. I still do it for good habit, but I mean, you see something come in like this, you can almost assume they're probably BTO there. Just, I mean, and you have other strikes kind of getting. Well, the 49 got hit there a little later in the day, but no major puts coming in. That Intel, very, very interesting and different timing too. Obviously, except kind of around that 11:30ish area, but ascending fill there. So I mean, looks good. Really heavy premium on that. Just tons of volume, and I like those big volume trades because they're easier to track for something that's like 500 size against like 700 open interest. A lot easier to track those bigger
Right.
volume
And the
moves
bigger
there.
ones are nicer to see on those larger market caps too, because if you see, a $10,000 in premium on something like Intel, that's pretty negligible compared to say $10 on a penny. The $10, Jesus, 10,000.
Yep. No. Yeah. So good piece of flow, and Intel looks like it's starting to kind of pop again here a little bit right now, about 0.5%.
Yeah, the NQ had a nice bounce right out of the gate. Yes, is doing the same shit. As someone who is very married to shorts, right out of the gate this morning, completely unrelated to that Intel trade. Uh, it's we've still got a lot of positive gamma right up above us. The exact same look to it as yesterday. And yesterday, I'll admit, I got a little chopped up after the show. Uh, sorry, on Monday I got chopped up after the show, but yesterday it was just. I know Anthony, you're trying to fire off puts on the
Yep.
way up.
Yep.
A lot of head fakes. You didn't really get the reversal until pretty damn close to close, and I did catch that. Luckily, ended the day a little above break even. Um, yeah, it's kind of looking like we're gonna have a similar day here with the way the scam is still built up above us. Right now, we've got heavy positive at 69.25, and down below us, that good old fashioned 6,900. Those nice round even numbers tend to be kind of psychological levels. When there's a lot of gamma built up, a lot of positive gamma built up, I almost assume market makers are gonna want to push it up toward those. Uh, because they don't want their shit to expire out of the money, right? Right now we're on the 0 day expiration. I'll flip between all and 0 day every now and again. Kind of in the morning, they pretty mirror each other. When we get closer to the end of the day, I like to look at the next day's expiration to see how positioning is happening into quote unquote tomorrow's session. But for the most part, in the morning, I'm looking at the 0 day gamma exposure. And I mean, right now, we still just got a little tiny wall of positive gamma at 69, 35, and 40, but the big one's up there at 70 again. Uh, Last few days, they've just been kind of trucking with some scalpable pullbacks, but nothing super dramatic. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'll let you guys know if they give me a spicy entry or not, and I'll
Yeah,
say it if I'm in it.
I'm looking at that 69.25. I mean, you got that net call premium spiking on SPY there, holdings up there too, and puts are dropping on holdings there. Spot gammas leaning to the upside. I mean, like you said, they're targeting up there at that 69.70. It looks good there, at least right now. Lot can change though, so you know.
Yeah, always subject to change. And it's always funny because I'll say shit like right now we're trading at 69.30. 6900 doesn't seem crazy far away on SPX. 69.70 feels like it, right? Like it seems so far, 50 points away. But I always eat my words when I say it's far away because I was saying that about downside shit on Monday and we knifed right through the level I said would have been my floor. I think it was 68.40 at the time, 100 points down since Monday on the SPX. So we're vibing there.
Yeah, it's holding that 69.25. I'm keeping an eye on that. I mean, looks like it wants up there if premiums hold up and everything. You got that good negative gamma, that nice big negative gamma at 69.30, like you were talking about too. How often do you use that straddle cone there too?
I
So
gotta
I've
say, I used to, so back when we first added Periscope, that straddle, it just, I mean, let me see if I can even replicate it a little bit going back to yesterday's. Uh, Let me go back a little further. I want a day where, here we go. So the straddle, when we first added Periscope, I almost used it as an indicator, like bouncing off of the cone like it did right there. The issue with that is that this cone, I was informed and educated by one of our devs. This cone is an arbitrary time period. It's set to 10 minutes, but you can change that to like whatever, and then it completely throws off whether or not it's holding. The true reason it's bouncing off of that cone is because there was gamma there. There was heavy gamma levels. What time was that in the day? 11:20 a.m. So let's go back to that time frame. 20. Basically right down here is the only bastion of negative gamma. That's what they're bouncing off of. And right below it, we have another positive gamma setting up down at 68.50. This is back on Friday, February 20th, just to demonstrate that it's not the cone that you should be looking at. It's the levels you should be looking at. Because like I said, the cone itself is arbitrary. The straddle are these two extremes that you see at the end of the day. A lot of times it'll get bought or sold into that range, but not always. I don't think it's a very reliable thing to bank on. More so the way gamma builds throughout the day. Like on this day on Friday, you can see all day from that 11:20 on, positive gamma was building up above us without really any below for them to target. And they pushed up pretty much all day. After one big back test of this positive gamma zone, they held a support in the morning that day. So the cone itself, I put it on for a pretty visual, but I don't marry any positions to it. I won't take entries or exits on them specifically unless they coincide with gamma levels during that period. The theory is the straddle is where it tends to stay in. Straddle expires either in profit or near break. But yeah, I target the gamma levels. The cone just looks pretty for me.
Yeah, that's something I was looking at yesterday and kind of throughout the last couple of weeks is kind of what levels are at the end of that cone there and look for a possible rejection or bounce too. So definitely something cool. I mean I mean like I told you, I mean I've been doing Periscope probably about a month now and that thing is absolute game changer.
I don't put
Absolute
trades on
game
without
changer.
looking at it, man.
Nope.
I just
Nope.
don't. I don't.
I
It
don't either.
adds so much confidence to my scalping. Even in, I will say I'm guilty of being very bad at longs, so I miss out on a lot, even if the setup's obvious on Periscope. But there's a mental block I have with longs where I get antsy. I will paper hand the shit out of them for baby profits just to watch it soar without me. I don't know why. I'm just so much better at shorts, and right now they're not giving me any really good shorts.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
like
not
a
looking.
20-point pullback in the NQ here, but I'm not going to chase it because right now our setup is still to the upside. Right now, we've still got this heavy positive gamma that we're in the zone right now. And I guess the gamma up above us is falling off a little bit. But if you notice, even on this pullback, there's not even really a wiggle happening in the net put premiums. They just teeny tiny little to the upside, and then boom, we're going negative on it again. And the whole time we dipped off of that high, and it's not even, it's like 2 points. It's not even much of a dip. Net call premiums have just been driving up. So there's no inclination for me yet to short this until they give me a clean sign of reversal, and they're just not doing that yet. I almost wonder if they make a run to that 69.50 before they sell off. It's a little early in the morning to say for sure, though. We're only about 13 minutes into the session. Unless there's a crazy clean setup, I tend to stay hands off in the first 15 minutes or so. You can get chopped up really bad in that time frame, especially when you're trading futures.
Yeah.
Specifically the Nasdaq. It'll
Yep.
the Nasdaq does stop loss runs that ES doesn't seem to do as often. But my brain works better for MNQ. So even though I'm using the S&P gamma data, I'm trading the Nasdaq based on price action coinciding with where we are in this gamma setup. So here, Anthony, I'm kind of looking to see if they're going to take another tickle at 69.15. They held it as perfect support right out of the gate. But the positive gamma is just kind of falling off in both directions. So I'm hands off until they give me something clean.
Yeah,
Pick a side, damn it.
Exactly. It's gonna be one of those, yeah, one of those chops. Probably. Of course, you do the show and then there's choppiness. We
Yeah, it
do have
always
some
seems like as soon as we get off air, I'll hit like 4 scalps. I'm like, guys, I swear to God, it's real.
Exactly. Exactly. Maybe gotta start doing shows at noon then instead. Um,
We
there is
got
some
a comment from someone on the YouTube chat. Mr. Matthew Ben Shabbat says, "Nvidia delivers, and we could be right back close to SPY 700."
I don't disagree, dude. As does Nvidia, so does the market, it seems. I'm curious though, because if you notice, on Monday we talked a little bit about the concept of the SaaS apocalypse, the software as a service. It's just what the big brains have been calling it. I don't know if it's an apocalypse or not, but you have shit like $1 trillion wiped out in software as a service sector since the year started, and a lot of it's stemming off of AI fears. Nvidia is an outlier to that because they're kind of spearheading the equipment being utilized for AI, and a lot of the AI partnerships are involving Nvidia chips. And so I personally, I don't think they have a lot to fear. But I mean, we'll see. We'll if you guys didn't hear on Monday, we'll be doing a second show today during Power Hour, just going over strictly earnings flow, maybe taking some scalps if the options present themselves. And we'll do that into close to see the Nvidia drop as well.
got to make Jay Z come on at some point today.
Yeah.
Can't give him a Wednesday off, man. No Wednesdays off. We do have some kind of interesting flow hitting my feed right now. Got some really some 1218 MOS 30 calls coming in here.
I feel like I see that ticker every now and again. What is MO?
Oh, I know, every once in a while. I think they just had earnings yesterday. Big
Right,
spike in net call premium.
SPX just finally pushed out of that positive gamma zone. I do wonder if they're going to target that 69.50 maybe higher. I usually expect some chop on Nvidia days until they get the report. But right now,
slow trendy day up probably. Watch.
Trajectory is uppies. Yeah. All right, go ahead on MOS.
Yeah. So I mean, seeing big spike in net call premium, a little put premium there, but lots of volume here. This one that's coming in 23% of that total premium on the day so far. Obviously, still really early in the day. Very long term, 11% out of the money. I don't get a super clean read on that. I do like kind of seeing flow before, just so I can kind of see how that flow that's coming in here for the alert or so, whatever you want to call it, is impacting that IV. I mean, if you made me pick, I'd probably say they're BTO here.
I'd be leaning that way too.
I just typically like to see that context before it too, and I mean, like, you look after it. I think the context a little bit before it's almost a little more important, just to see how that block of trades is impacting everything. But I mean, I would probably lean BTO on here if you made me pick.
And it
The
worth
one,
noting as well, they just had earnings yesterday, and if you're looking at their P&L on the day, they had a bad time.
yeah, I'm keeping an eye here, and I'm just looking at that historical move here too. It's not recently, it's not really favoring that
Yeah, it's not loving it.
upside move there
Especially that
either.
that 1 day, 3 day move after back in August, they did not have a good time there. And I do
No.
wonder, we're at the point of 1 day post earnings on it. It's down 5.5% today. I wonder if we're just looking at somebody trying to bottom ticket. If we got like a little knife catcher in the floor.
Would be my guess. I mean, that's a big implied move there. That is a big implied move.
Yeah, it is. And they ain't outside it.
Nope.
Theta
Nope, not
Gang
yet.
wins again, guys.
That's, earnings are, I mean, I always tell Jay-Z, good for him for hitting all his little earnings lottos. I
Dude, I
am
suck
not one
ass
of
at
those
earnings. I
people.
don't even
I
try.
was not even close.
Anytime we take
Uh,
an earnings options flow trade in the show account, it's all Jay-Z, dude. I suck at earnings. And when I trade my personal account, I don't even touch earnings. 'Cause
Nope.
I don't win
I've learned my lesson the hard way.
it.
Interesting flow here that actually does kind of look good. These at Verizon 32051 calls. Nice spike in that net call premium there. Tons of call volume on the day. This one is also 63% of the total premium on Verizon on the day so far. And this flow actually looks a lot better compared to the MOS. And kind of just what I mean by that is this is kind of what I was talking about with the MOS. I like seeing that flow before it there just to see how this flow, the alert coming in impacts it there. So I mean, you get a nice IV spike here. Spot is filling at that ask that entire way up here. IV stays at that 2175. Repeated hits flow alert. I mean, this is another one I'd
That's
read it
pretty
as a
clean. I like that.
BTO one there. And that's just, I mean, I like that flow before it there. And when you see those block trades, I don't know if we have any coming in here right now. Let's see.
I do like the nice little pop in implied volatility as well. The theory behind that is that buys to open, or buys, sorry, in general, I guess you can buy to close and it can still drive the IV up. The theory behind it, buys will push that up as the price increases into.
Yep, yep. You
Somebody's spamming
nailed
those
it.
oracles too, huh?
Yep, little earnings bet there. It could be. Take a peek at them. 20% out of the money, 16 days. I mean, you could get it run before then. I mean, net call premium spiking, good volume. How much is this on the day? 15% of the total premium. Let's come down here. This one, no context before it, but I mean, just kind of looking at that bid-ask spread and eyeing that net call premium on the day and how high we are right now. I mean, I would fairly like to say they're probably BTO on there just with your other data points
I do
mixed
like
in
I
there.
like how, and again, we've been talking about it all year, it seems like. The liquidity in some of these contracts is kind of dog shit compared to
Yep.
toward the end of last year, like before the holiday season. See this wide bid-ask gap, 196 to 218. It's tightening up now as we're getting some smaller orders coming in. And again, IV's still driving upward. But we still have perfect at-ask fills despite that wide spread. So there's not seemingly any fishing for entries here like you'll see me do on the show when we're trying to get in for a better fill. They're just slapping the ask on these. So I'm definitely leaning bought to open on these. And again, everybody, the reason we keep saying we're leaning, even though it's a perfect ask fill, you can't know for sure unless you're that trader. Or if you have direct buy sell data from the exchange, which I think CBOE offers for a price, but it's not a price I can afford.
Yeah, it's.
But
I mean,
those
and
are, in my opinion, those are bought to open. But there's no guarantee. Fills can
And even-
happen within that NBBO. They could be sells. The odds are these are buys, though.
and even so, even if you have the data saying it's a buy, they're humans. They can be wrong. I mean, there's not.
We just had a major. Let me make sure I have Gamma turned on because the last time I did this, one time I had it set to Vanna. All right, we just had a major series of flips here. 6930 flipped negative in a massive way. When they're orange, everybody, the orange indicates it flipped from one to the other. So in this instance, 6930 flipped from positive to negative. We also see that entire block below us do its little flippies as well. We have 6925 holding still pretty positive, but that 6930 is going deeper to the negative. All right, I refreshed. It looks like it was a glitch. No flips there. The only flip we have is 6940 in this 10-minute increment. Nice little flip there. But we're still pretty heavy at 6925. But if you notice, these little white dots show the prior gamma exposure from the last 10-minute interval. This 6970 has been building all morning still, as has the 6960 and the 50. The 6925's fallen off a little bit. Dude, I don't know. If they got balls in them today with the Bulls, I just won't be entirely crazy
That
to hit that 6970.
I was gonna say that 6970 grew a little bit. Same with that 6960. I mean,
6975 for tomorrow is popping off.
Oh yeah.
There's just so much gamma built up there. I don't trust the short yet.
Yeah, it's interesting. You just don't want to get chopped up, like you said. I mean, Nvidia Day might get that early move like yesterday. I mean, if you would have got calls after that first move, you're gonna get chopped up.
Getting chopped up's the name of the game, baby. Like we always say, 90% of trading is waiting.
Yeah, those oracles look really good. Put premium just fell off a cliff.
I'm gonna see how they
one,
react
too.
to 6930 right here, right now. If they give me a full test of 6925 and hold it as support, I might go out of character here and try to jump into a small MNQ long. But only if they give me the dip I want. Like I said, I'm not comfortable in longs usually. My brain works a lot better for shorts. I can't make it make sense, so don't try to yourselves. I need like the cleanest, safest entries to be comfortable in longs. And so on days like today, days like yesterday, I might not take a trade until like almost power hour, if not power hour itself, because my brain's locked into shorts. And if you get married to a bias, when the setup's not there and you're just putting shit on to put shit on, you're gonna get hurt. I've done that countless times over the last 5 or 6 years. I'm sure Anthony has too.
I did it on Friday and Monday. And that, I mean, because I always tell myself I'm not a huge zero DTE trader to begin with, but if it's early in the day, that's different. That's
yeah,
my
I'll do zero day options in the morning, generally around lunch hours when I'll knock that shit off and switch to 1 day. Because that theta, you can be right and just get blasted depending on what time of day it is and how big the move is.
Yeah, that's what got me Friday and Monday. I'm like, hey, why don't I do some zero DTEs? Periscope looks good, like.
Yeah, you'll even see professional traders every now and again, and I wouldn't consider myself a professional trader at all. I haven't full-time traded since 2021. I'm just a guy, dude. I'm just a guy who likes flow, dude. But you'll see professional traders get hosed on choppy days too, because setups keep getting invalidated. Especially like yesterday when we had the gamma exposure kind of pinning us between two positive gamma zones with negative gamma in between. Those will just keep stopping people out on both sides. They'll go hit the major extreme of the range, then come right back down to the other. Kind of a scalper's dream. But anybody that tries to play trajectory or momentum on days like that, you're getting trapped. You're getting chopped up in that tiny range. I'm still getting better about just fucking off and staying hands off during days like that. Days like today, I'd probably... Man, I'm almost confident to say I'd still be looking for longs on this dip. I'm going to see how they react. Like I said earlier, to 69.25 here. If they don't sweep out this negative gamma zone below us to make a new low, I might take a stab at longs. But if they do sweep this and then reject 69.25 from below, guess what? You boys in business, I'll throw a short on.
I was gonna say you might get your short set up there if that put premium's really climbing there. Put premium's really climbing, call premium's really dipping. You got good negative volume coming in. That's
given the extreme of the move, though, I would want to see call premium come off more before I'm convinced. Right now, everything's moving with equities instead of preempting, and I like to see it preempt. And with that big of a drop in SPY price relative to net call premium, I would expect a more steep drop in call buying. I'm not seeing that quite yet. But even so, in order to get into a safe short, I want to see them sweep out that 69.25 and then reject it from below anyway. Right now, they're holding it. I might go out of character here. Oh, it is too late on NQ. Take a look at my screen real quick, Anthony.
Let me pop it over quick. Give me 1 second.
There was the entry while I was running my mouth. I already missed out on 40 points. There is no chasing here.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean,
right here, this candle wick, right here, guys, watching. This wick right here on MNQ is this SPX dip. It's this series of red candles. This second 10-minute candle here that's red. That's what that candle wick was on NQ. So I missed the entry there. That's also something, if you're not just doing straight ES/SPX to the gamma, you kind of have to be considerate that they'll move in the same direction, but not necessarily in the same way. And like I said before, NQ, MNQ, they'll wick people out a lot more violently than ES and SPX tend to. So let me see what they do here. Maybe they'll give me another chance to catch a little bit of this. But I don't chase longs, man. I get beat up every time I chase a long.
hey, as long as you know that read was right, hey,
Yeah.
that's the right. I mean, especially if you're like learning, that's kind of what I was doing too. Because obviously on my little mess around account, I was only getting one solid trade a day, so I'm like doing
One
a lot
trade
of
it
back
is all you
testing.
need, by the way. Like you
Yep.
don't gotta always be trading, especially if you're scalping. Like, yeah, you can sit here and scalp all day every day, but guess what happens every time I do that in overtrade? I turn a $500 day into a negative $200 day. If you
Get
have
a
a
little
clean setup and you get in and you hit the whole move, there's no reason to keep going, in my opinion. Like, hypothetically speaking, $250 a day is a salary, dude. Depending on where you live, one trade a day is you can live off of it. You don't got to force shit. If there's no trade, don't take it. And that's
Yeah,
like we've even had episodes of this where we don't put anything on. And yeah, it's boring, but I'm beautiful, so we just keep the banter going. I hope it works out. But sometimes there's just not a trade. I missed my long there while I was talking about why I wanted to get long, and that's just kind of typical of my life. We're up 50 points from there now.
hey, I mean,
And so what do? I'm not going to chase it. I got to wait. You just wait for the next one. There's going to be another trade. It's the market, dude. It doesn't go in a straight line. It doesn't even go straight up, even though stocks tend to go up. If there's no trade, don't force it. You'll hurt yourself. And then you'll get pissed that you hurt yourself and then rage trade it. We'll have a whole segment on that soon because I am guilty of rage trading, especially last year when some shit happened in real life. I fucked up bad, and I'm going to cover that and really harp on why it's not good to trade when your mental's not clean.
you start forcing too much stuff, and then you get mad.
And then you get like a sense of panic that you fucked up and you got to quote unquote fix it. And that fix my losses mentality will eat you alive. If you take a big loss day, give yourself about 15 minutes to be pissed off and mad at yourself, and then settle, fuck off from your account until the next day, and then do everything like you always do. Don't try to get it back. It's just a new trading day. Do your normal shit. And I did not do that last year. And we'll talk about that maybe next week. And I'll go
and that's how you blow your port too. I mean, you start over trading, trying to revenge everything, and then
I blew a good like, man, full disclosure on it. Throughout the course of last year, when all the tragic shit was happening, I blew a good like 60 prop accounts, and not just the evaluations, fully funded with profit in them prop accounts. I nuked them all by trading with a bad mental. But again, I won't harp on that today. We'll do a whole segment on not trading when you're pissed or sad or panicking. You'll hurt yourself bad. It's very brutal. It's very brutal. And it's not the first time I've done that. And I've been trading for 6.5 years now. And it's still not... Nope, 7. Oh my God, I'm old, Anthony. Make it stop.
I'm older than you.
Fuck. No, I
think I'm older than you by like a couple months. I don't know who
Yeah.
old.
I turned 33 in June, and I don't
Oh,
want to talk
that's it.
about
I'll
it.
be 34 in September, so talk about old. Tucker's like, hey, I'm only 14.
Oh God.
That's not true.
Dude, he said some shit that he remembered from junior high, and I was like, I thought that was like last year. What the fuck are you talking about?
You've been to junior high already? I was gonna say like 5th grade. Do have some interesting Mara flow coming in here though. Some little interesting, good IV spike here. that the one thing that kind of, I don't want to say throws me off, you have that fill at 52 here, little more of a mid fill at the beginning here, but spread tightens, it continues to fill at the ask. That IV staying up, it's a sweep order. Another one that looks like a clean buy there. It's coming in at the bid there. How do you kind of feel about something like that, Nick, where you see that bid ask kind of drop off at the end, but that
I
spot is still filling at the
I don't really worry
previous
about
ask?
that little guy. I still lean with the initial orders personally, unless as we go through it, we see the implied volatility drop pretty steeply. I'm leaning bot to open on those. Now I want to point out though, none of these came in as one solid sizable order. They're the same shit probably. They triggered a repeated hits. Somebody just kind of towing in to a position across several different smaller orders. The initial series of orders don't in any way encompass the open interest. So hypothetically, a good half of today's volume could be a positional closure. Now, I don't think it is. I think we're going to see that open interest go up tomorrow by the amount of volume today, if not pretty damn close to it. But just something to keep in mind. When you have large open interest like that, unless an order comes in that's bigger than the total volume of the day prior to that order combined with the open interest, technically you can't say with certainty that it's an opening trade. If the size of one order is bigger than the prior volume combined with open interest, it's guaranteed to be a new position. In this case, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty positive this is a new position. I'm heavily leaning toward bot to open, but just something to keep in mind.
Good 90. It's 99% chance that, like you said, it'll carry over, but can't confirm it until that open interest updates. I don't know what else. What else do we got coming in here? We got any requests, Tucker? You doing your job?
We're not getting much.
Tucker. That's it's your fault, Tucker. How about these these PANW 227 149s?
That's an eyebrow raiser. The 2 days to expiration always makes me anxious, but I know some of our affiliates, Cough Jay-Z, love seeing degenerate shit like that. When it's like really close dated, I almost wonder if we've got a sneaky seller trying to collect premium into expiration. What's the percent out of the money there?
4% out of the money. I think you might potentially be right here. I mean, let's kind of look at the tape here. It's a descending fill. So you're starting at that 80, dropping down a little bit to 78. Then we drop down to 79. You got some 75 in here. That IV is just bouncing all over the place here. Comes up a little bit again here too. And then here is your big size and premium at the end there. So IV drops there. I think these might be short calls here.
You're a short call.
Yeah, I know.
Roasted.
And let's just I want to look at that theta on those. I mean, that delta to theta, I mean, you chop here, that thing is going to get ate up there. I mean, and if you have to swing something like this, that's one thing I always look at too.
Swing trading a 2 days to expiration thing puckers me right up, man. You'll even hear on the show when Jay-Z's like, I'm gonna get the weeklies. I'm like, fuck that, dude.
Even on a Monday,
for next month, man.
Yeah, I even on the like on Monday or Tuesday, I'm still like very, very cautious about weakness.
I'm risk averse as hell, dude. I buy time. I'd rather spend a little bit more money for time with a smaller percentage profit potential, but a higher chance to not lose. I like trading a higher chance to not lose. Yeah, the goal of trading is to make money, but you got to protect your capital too. If you're only trading to win, you're going to overhold positions. I like to list it as big wins, really good. Small wins, really good. Break even, pretty good. Small loss, pretty good. Big loss,
not good.
Knock it the fuck off, bro.
I am interested to see what happens with these because you are
losing's winning too, man.
Side.
If you lose small but you win big, they gave me that rejection off 69.25, but I was running my mouth and didn't take it, so it's just gonna run without me here. It looks like that's okay. If you lose big, you're not managing your risk. If you lose small, that's a win because you're managing your risk.
Yep.
That's important. Risk management is arguably more important than trading winners. Like, you gotta win. We've got a flip to positive at 69.40, by the way. But that 69.70 is still building way up there. We're falling off everywhere else except for 25. If they give me another test of 25 with a reject, man, I don't know. We're still kind of in a 50-50 zone for me. Net call premiums are not budging on this dump. Look at that. Net call premiums,
Yeah,
call buyers in the markets don't give a shit that we just dipped at all. Look how steep that drop is in the S&P, and net call premiums are still going up. That gives me pause to try to chase this short, so I'm waiting.
and that overall market tide too looks like it's kind of being led by Nvidia and MU. Otherwise,
Yeah.
besides that, I mean, you'd be pretty
Does
flat near
Micron
zero.
report today too? Let me pop up earnings.
Micron, I believe, reported already.
Did they? Let me check.
We've got from Leandro in the chat. Anything on Tesla?
Oh, they already did. You're right. They don't have shit until March.
Look up
Apparently.
Tesla. Oh, that
MU. What was that, Tucker? Sorry.
Leandro in the YouTube chat asks if there's anything on Tesla.
can give a
Anything
quick look for
on
some
Tesla?
Tesla. Let's see. Let's go take a peek. So, kind of the way that I like looking at names, just kind of like if it's a blanket
Yeah,
statement
I'll
like
let you
that.
jump down this one's throat because I have a very bad track record with Tesla specifically.
I'm not a huge fan of Tesla either.
I in 2021-ish, I tried a lot of puts on Tesla, and it went very poorly for me, despite nothing but bad news. So
Yeah,
I don't
Tesla,
fade the Tesla bros anymore.
Tesla's a whole different animal. Whole different animal too. I mean, doesn't care about fundamentals, doesn't care about charting, doesn't care about flow. It just does what it does. But yeah, just kind of how, like, if it's a blanket question like that, or if I'm just kind of looking for flow, I typically like to kind of start out on that net premium chart. I typically start 14 days, gives me a kind of a midterm view of what's been going on in the option market here. So, like, a couple things I'm noticing right off the bat. You had a big spike back here on February 19th in call premium. Then you had a huge dip here on the 23rd. Not much today, and that's one thing that why I kind of like looking at that 14-day too, because if you look at that 1-day view, and this isn't going to be a good example, like you might see if that call premium was up here at that 419 earlier in the day, well, if you zoom out, that premium isn't even close to what you've been kind of seeing overall. So, I mean, like yesterday, huge spike in put premium, something to kind of be cautious about. Kind of a lot of positive volume here too. And I see that a lot with Tesla too, where I mean you'll have a lot of net call premium and then you have tons of negative volume or vice versa. A lot of put premium like yesterday and then lots of positive volume here. So not a super, I'd almost say just looking face value at the premiums here, I'm seeing a lot more put premiums here. So that's I'd potentially maybe be looking for puts here. So my next kind of step here, I come down to that highest volume contracts. Just give it a quick glance, see what's coming in on the day. Obviously, Tesla, you're going to probably see a lot more 0 days, especially ETFs, all that stuff. You're going to see 0 days more.
So weird to me that so many stocks have several weekly expirations now. Like
Monday,
I remember
Wednesday,
when
Friday.
SPY and QQQ went to everyday expiration. Shit was really crazy for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's a good way for market makers to get the degens. I always say that just because I mean 0 days are almost kind of those degen plays where I mean you gotta trade, you're looking for that big move and then hey you chop, you're done. Especially on like Tesla where that theta I mean is already aggressive on like a weekly. So yeah, from that high, well, I should probably talk when I'm doing the stuff. That Tesla highest volume contract. So I just kind of see what's going on here. Maybe take a quick glance over at the highest open interest contracts. I spend most of my time in that highest volume contracts area. So I come in here. I have all my filters here. I'll usually come down to the ask, start out at like maybe 50% ask side. I like to work my way down Tesla, and should be different for every stock. Obviously, 30,000 on Tesla is different than 30,000 on like a Snapchat or Snap Ford, one of those names that nobody really cares about. Disclaimer. um, so I'll kind of
We
set
have
my.
something from Peter Venkman GB in the YouTube chat who asks, who says, Tesla IV hit 0, puts paid.
What?
Okay.
I don't know if that's
Well,
what he said. I'm doing my job. You know, Anthony was begging me to on his hands and knees.
well,
That's what he
let's
said.
let's
Thanks, Peter.
see. Let's see. I think I might know what he's talking about. I'll pop that over there. So this is kind of just how I try to filter out and find some good contracts. So I'll do a decent premium. I try to limit those multi legs. Maybe go no more than 10% in the money. So I mean that way at least you kind of clean up that view here, and you're still getting a lot of contracts. So with this, I'm going to kind of bump up that ask side percent here. Maybe we'll do 60%. So okay, a little less there. So we'll do 55. 55 seems like the happy medium here. So what I'm seeing just off the bat here, and you limit all that multi-leg so you don't have to sit and worry about spreads unless you're looking for spreads to trade, obviously. Like right off the bat here. So 4-2, 430 call, 4-2, 410 call. Let's just see, take a peek here. A lot of volume here, and a lot of these will have previous open interest, so keep an eye on that. It's not like your filters from the flow feed or flow alerts or any of those where it's going to pick up that volume greater than open interest. This is just kind of giving you that overview of everything on Tesla here. So like this, I mean, we have 3,500 contracts traded on the day against 2,600 open interest contracts, but it's all coming in smaller increments there. Now, if this was all that 3,500 in one candle, same time, everything, maybe a little more confirmation on that. I do see most of that volume started to come in here on the 20th. So let's just kind of go back here, take a peek.
I'm in a super tight stop short, but on MN. And I saw the SPX question. I'll answer that once I either get stopped out or take profit on. It's a very tight stop. Like I said, I still don't trust downside based on tied premiums and the way Gamma's building, but the setup's there in my price action, so I'm taking
I
it
don't know who
small.
you are. I don't know who you are. Not worried about downside. That's a first. So yeah, just kind of looking at this though, like this could be profit taking today from back here. You had actually no, this guy might be taking. So how I'm kind of coming to that conclusion. So we had 5,500 contracts traded here on the 20th. Most of that carried over into open interest. You had about 4,100 contracts traded here on the 23rd. No big change in open interest. So I think this guy or gal sold their position. Somebody picked that up here, and maybe this whale here is taking profits today. I mean, very, very similar sizing just overall. They're like, that's something you have to check on that open interest. And that's like one of the great things I always tell people about unusual whales. Instead of just getting that raw number data, you get that visualization with the candles and all that.
All right, we're up about 20 points on this trade. I might take it off. We're already at my target right here, 25,292 on MNQ. I'm just watching this to see how they react. If they give a really strong bounce out of this, I'm going to stop myself out for profit. Otherwise, my full target's way down at 220. Maybe lower if we see the gamma we've got going on here keep building down at 6,900. This will be a much bigger trade. We finally got the drop off in net call premium here with a big spike in net put premium moving along with the move. My target right now, again, is basically right here, right now. I'm going to let them bounce and chop around it here. Ultimately, I'd love to get all the way down to this 25,220, but if they don't give it to me, they don't give it to me. They haven't given me a reason to move my stop down yet either, because if they bounce above where my stop is, this becomes an invalidated move down, and the buyers are defending this 292 area. Now, to the person who asked, is there any reason not to do options with SPX price action instead of MNQ like I do? No, there's not. When I was doing this with specifically the Whale Watch options account when it was new, I did SPY options with it. It absolutely viable. If anything, me trading MNQ based on SPX is what's wonky and backwards-ish. It looks like they might try to reclaim this. Technically, my stop should be up here, but I didn't want to put that much risk on. I can always get back in. But I'm going to keep an eye on this here and see what they give me, y'all. Just wanted to update on how I scalp. Because I scalp the combination of gamma levels. I don't necessarily scalp SPX's movement with MNQ. I'm using the SPX gamma levels in conjunction with my chart to trade MNQ. The gamma gives me significantly more confidence to get in and out of trades, and so I don't trade without it. But no, I'm not trading ES or SPX with it. There's no reason you can't. If anything, it'd be easier for you than this is. This is just what I do. Really personal preference based, but ultimately the concepts are the same. I'm just using SPX's gamma levels for. They did not stop me out. I'm going to see what they do on this 1 minute candle, but it looks like I might be okay to hold this past that first target. I'll keep you updated if I get stopped out or take my profits, y'all.
To back your downside thesis there too, you just had some spy pits. Jeez, dude, is it Friday yet?
Spy pits.
Yeah. On the 227.668, heavy size on that one. Very heavy size. Coming in short term might.
Tell them to dump it, because I don't like them holding my support.
Yeah, I'll go hit the dump button there.
Yeah, just
and
go short like 20,000 NQ contracts for me real quick.
Get assigned.
All right,
oh, no.
Let's see if they give me a new local low here. I really want them to take this last candle out at 285 on MNQ. I might be able to move my stop to break even, because that would give us a new local high.
A couple more questions from the peanut gallery. So let me know when you're finished.
Yeah, hit it. You're fine. I'm just going to manage this trade. I'll let y'all know if I take profit or get stopped out.
Yeah, we got something from Chai Almar in the YouTube chat who asks, when trading SPX movement, do you have any good/bad opinion when using,
Tucker.
Zero DTE options instead
of futures? Tucker.
That's a Nick one. Nick can
it's literally what I just explained. That's why I was saying, Tucker. Literally, the whole thing I just went through, Tucker, was answering that question.
Just making sure it's read out. But we also have one from Griftlord who asks, is there anything on Circle? Earnings seemed like a sell news, but if crypto forms a bottom?
We can go look at Circle. I can pull it up here.
Man, crypto's been getting shellacked. Just beating the hell up. Come on, give me a new local low. I just talked so much shit about this short. Make me look good. Come on, MNQ. I'm sorry I abandoned you for SPY and ES for like 2 months. I'm back. I'm back, baby. Just love me.
So Circle reports today after hours, it looks like. Yep, PM. Oh, yes. PM.
PM would be pre-market.
Or pre-market. See, that always is what
it fucks with my head too, because I think PM like time frame. Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. I don't have the earnings data here on what they did. Sounds like you said they possibly had good earnings there. I don't have the data in front of me.
It doesn't look like it. I'll just go check.
I'm looking at that overall net call premium right now. You do have that.
Damn. They had a very good earnings report, and they hit like plus 20% this morning. Yeah, they're up 18 right now. God damn.
So Jay-Z probably had calls on it.
Oh, they said a new local low, but I was looking at Circle. Shit. If they bounce me out and stop me out, I'll just blame Tucker again. It'll be fine.
It is. I am. But before I get back to Circle here, I am watching that, how it's kind of just following that cone right now too. It's rejecting that bottom of the cone. I mean, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, they're not giving me the full sweep of that negative gamma zone quite yet. I think they might try to back test me here. I'm still in, and again, they haven't had me move my stop quite yet, so I'm vibing. I'm vibing until they give me the full move or stop me out.
That positive gamma at 69.25 decreased a lot too.
It did. At the same time, 6,900 is still growing, and that's why I haven't paper-handed this yet. Now, if I was in a long, I would have closed it the very first time they got anywhere near that first target. I'm so scared. All right, they've got me at break even on this bounce. Looks like they are going to do the back test. I'm keeping my stop where it is. That's how I manage my risk. There's no reason to move my stop all the way down yet. It's still where it is. They haven't invalidated my pattern yet. They don't until they get above this stop. That will invalidate the downside pattern entirely.
I'm looking at that upside gamma from earlier too. A lot of that's just disintegrating there too. I mean, it's It changes quick. It changes quick. I mean, that's why I'll see a lot of people talk about trading too, and it's like if you're scalping, like you have to be attached to the computer.
Yeah.
If you're
You have
that
to
good,
manage
your
that
phone.
shit. Yep.
Yeah, you
Your
can't.
phone.
You can't step
Damn.
away.
Jay-Z's
I-
not even here. He's catching strays, dude.
I can't. I mean, I can't trade on my phone. Like I can place orders, but like trying to scalp on your phone, man. Props to people that can do that.
We're still up about 10 points on this. Just managing it from here out. I'll let you know if I take it off. If we get a
Cool.
big sweep here, it's possible that I'll do what I talk about on the show where I add into the move. But honestly, I'm still nervous about that upside. Even though we've got that positive gamma falling off, finally, I'm a little nervous about it. So I'm just going to keep my risk the same. I'm only doing these 3 contracts, leaving my stop where it is. My risk to reward ratio on this trade is kind of massive. So there's no reason for me to extend my risk. My risk to reward is a stop out of about 20 points, but my full target is nearly 100 points down. That is a ridiculous risk to reward. So it's okay with me if they stop me out. I can get back in because those targets aren't going to change. I don't like much how they're bouncing back into that opening range, though. So I'm keeping a close eye on this. I'll let you guys know.
Your put premiums are kind of slightly dropping a
Yeah.
teeny bit too.
Starting
I
to
will,
look like they want to bag me. But hey, I like this rejection they're doing now on the 1 minute. I need them to complete it and give me a good old-fashioned M pattern to the downside. Otherwise, this is just going to do one of those annoying U's from the bottom and take me out toward those positive gamma levels above us. But I do like seeing them fall off up there while they build below. I'm not going to paper hand yet. I'll take my full stop out if it...
I'm gonna come back. You'll be up 30%. That's how I'm gonna say it. So back to circle here.
Yeah, my bad.
I mean, hey, there's no script to the show. We just do whatever. You just do whatever comes in and whatever happens. Yeah, circle here. I mean, obviously a big pop today after earnings. Like Nick said, the earnings report looked good. Spike in net call premium here. I mean, that price is very, very extended from that now. See if we got any good new flow coming in though. Start 50% ask side. Premium will do 20K. I don't want anything more than 15% multi-leg. We won't go super deep in the money. Anything less than 20% in the money. So, I mean, it gives you a very clean look instead of trying to dig through tons of flow.
If they fail to reject 69.25, I'm going to close this preemptively and look for a re-entry just to be safe. Keep my risk managed here.
Yeah, it's just chopping at that level. Just chopping. The worst thing that can happen on a 0 day.
I'm just waiting for them to chop me up right after we talked about getting chopped up.
And that's
why I haven't stopped it out or moved my stop at all, because I don't like. I'd rather take a full stop out and know that I followed my rules than get chopped up switching sides over and over.
That's what happened to me yesterday on that big run up on SPX there. I had the short, I had the correct read, but it just ran just a little too much.
Yeah, they were just taking stops out on both sides yesterday, man.
Just like, yeah.
I took about five chopped up losses in the morning after that initial pump, and then I just didn't touch it until end of day and ended up getting a little above break even.
Yeah, I had a red day yesterday.
Yeah,
so.
sometimes you get trapped in it. It happens. It happens. You know, hold on. I got to go to the 3-screen view because I haven't added this. Hold on, just real quick. Get a little Tucker in the bottom there. Get a little Tucker in the bottom of my screen.
That's what she said?
His Tucker cam isn't working, and I don't know why. But nonetheless, I'm going to put his image on the screen.
Get a little Tucker on the bottom?
No Tucker on the bottom. It won't turn your camera on. I broke it.
Oh my god. Oh my god, what are you gonna do? What are we gonna do, folks?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know why it's not showing. I'm gonna get mad at it here in a second. Oh well. Nonetheless, 100% win rate's not a thing. Don't worry about your win rate so much. Worry about the P&L. Tucker cam working on this one? Tucker cam.
Did I do something wrong? No.
Probably.
No, it's just not reading for some reason.
Whoa.
Oh well.
Hey.
We'll just blame Tucker as a default here.
Yeah.
They're getting very close to my stop. I'm just watching this and managing it. We'll lose about $80 if they tag me out.
Yeah, back to circle too. Yeah.
Anyway, about that circle.
Yeah. Not really seeing much here. Just a lot of kind of intraday volume here. Not a singular whale really coming in here. We can take a peek at that 75. This one I have a little more
All right,
confirmation.
that hit my stop.
Intraday, did they? I gotta go look.
A good lesson on see money, take money when you got a trend day 2. Should have taken profit at my initial target there, but that's okay. We followed our rules. I'll look for a new re-entry, let you know if I get back in. All right, circle. I'll shut the fuck up.
like you said.
Oh, hold on. My girlfriend just asked if I want Culver's for dinner. Do I want Culver's for dinner?
Ooh, yes you do. What are you getting? Butterburger?
Probably mushroom Swiss. Yeah. Let's do that. If you're still listening, I do want Culver's for dinner. I'll be a fat ass today.
You can order me some too if you want.
Today's back in biceps day. That justifies it, right?
No,
Is that how that works?
They don't have Culver's down here in Texas, so.
That's
Really?
a bummer. I like Culver's better than all
That's-
the like cult classic regional places. But if I'm being honest, smash burgers aren't my thing. I like a big, juicy, medium rare burger.
What about
mouth.
you ever had a Whataburger?
Yeah, meh. Both In-N-Out and Water. I'm gonna piss off the whole chat here.
In-N-Out does suck.
Both In-N-Out and Whataburger are the mehest fast food burgers on the fucking planet, dude. It's so meh.
You know what the worst part of In-N-Out is?
What?
Those
They don't have
fries.
bacon.
I hate their fries.
Dude, which one is it that just straight up puts fries in a bag with no cup or anything? They just fill a fucking bag.
Oh, Five Guys?
Yeah, it's Five Guys.
Dude, Five Guys
Fuck
fries are
Five
good,
Guys
though.
too, dude.
They're good.
Imagine you go to pick up your burger and your fries, and it's just a dripping bag mess. Like, what are we doing?
They put it in a little wrapper. They just dump extra fries in the bag.
See, we gotta have like a little segment where we can do like tier lists.
And it's
for, like,
so
burgers and
overpriced.
stuff.
It just is.
Yeah, it is expensive.
And I have a gripe with Wendy's too, man. Their cheese smells and tastes like warm milk to me. Like, their cheese is just fucking awful. Anyway, Circle. About that Circle.
Buddy in the chat's probably been gone for an hour.
Yeah, he probably left forever ago.
We do actually have some comments in the chat.
Well, let him finish Circle first. Fuck. Wait, unless it's topical.
No, burgers.
So we can get burger comments, but we can't get
Canceling
flow
my
requests,
unusual
man.
whale
Come on.
subscription over Five Guys slander.
Oh, come on, Matthew.
Hey, if you cancel, I got a 10% off code you can sign up with. Shameless plug. Circle now. So yeah, just a lot of 1,600 contracts today. Just historically, kind of looking at that there. I'd probably assume it's a new position, just not anything super interesting to me. I'm not a big fan of chasing something when it's already up 20% almost on the day. What else? I mean, just face value looking at calls here because it's going to be a 10-hour show if I try to look at every little piece here. I mean, face value, what we're having coming in here, and let me actually, since we're just doing face value here, let me do that. I mean, that volume over open interest, I mean, it's calls coming in here without digging into each and every single one. I'd say obviously probably people trying to chase that move up there. Getting some short-term puts coming in though. I'm waiting for Snorlax to join in, and he's like, yeah, just Chipotle is better than all of the crap they're talking about.
One of my favorite tweets he did was for Chipotle earnings. And Chipotle shit the bed really bad on earnings, and he tweeted out his orders, like a picture of all of his like I don't remember if it was like DoorDash or whatever, but it was just like several months of Chipotle orders, and he was like, sorry guys, I tried.
Chipotle is good, but man, I always get the extra steak in the bowl, and dude, my bowl's like $23 each time. I'm like, I can't do it, man. It's so expensive. How about these Nike calls hitting the tape here?
Nike. Yeah, there go those call premiums again. I'm glad I took that stop out, or we'd be a clean 30 points in the red right now. So we're vibing.
Yeah, good stop. Like you said, there's never going to be a 100% win rate.
Stops are good, and I am a prolific rule breaker sometimes. I'll talk about that when we get to the emotional trading topic next week. Probably next week. We'll see. I eventually want to have there's a a woman that's really good about trading psychology. I'd love to have her on at some point to really harp on that stuff. 'Cause really, I think, the mental aspect, the emotions, the psychology of trading is more important than your strategy is.
Yep.
And I'm a living, walking example of being a really good trader and absolutely destroying myself by trading emotionally. All right, about that Nike.
Yeah, so Nike now. Let's just do it. Let's just do Nike. As sponsor, if you want to send me some clothes. So 46.45 here. So we're starting out at the bid here. Something to kind of potentially could have a little concern here. I do like how when this float is coming in here, though, spot is filling at the ask. IV does pop from there. Repeated hits the entire way up. IV staying up. Spot is continuing to fill at the ask. And looks like, I mean, we have some little kind of trailers here. Not huge size, so potentially not related. I mean, it's about a minute later. I At that point I kind of start thinking retail's following there. Yeah, this one I'm a little iffy on just with that kind of bid side start there. I do like how that spot increases and that IV does increase though. Just kind of one of those more risky risky pieces of flow I'd say there. Maybe find some other flow to match up with it. But 2% out of the money and no multi-leg and the huge spike in net call premium, kind of a good sign there. And this premium is only 23% of the total premium on the day too. So
All right, if they can't hold the 69.20 area this time, I'm taking that short again. They rejected directly off of that 69.30 negative gamma wall there. No acceleration through it. Buyers aren't happy up there. So they might not give me a new chance. They might just
so
go without me.
I'll ask you since we're on Periscope, how often do you scalp off the negative gamma zones?
Right there was a good example of doing it. So the red lines can cause acceleration, but they don't always. When they're really heavy like that, I'm keeping a close eye on it because hypothetically speaking, market makers aren't wanting their short their short calls to be in the money at expiration, right? If your short calls, you want it to expire worthless. So right there, I would have been watching it as a rejection point, even though we've got that gamma building up above it again. They failed to accelerate through it. So when they fail to accelerate through that level, that is me jumping into a short. But when they push up through it, that momentum picks up, and it picks up fast. So I stay hands off. So now I'm waiting for a nice little bounce to take this short again. But I'll keep you posted.
And I know it's obviously different when you're on the super dashboard because you don't get that market maker positions there unless you're switching over. How often do you use that SPX market maker position?
That's straight up what the Gex is.
Okay.
What I need to start playing with, and actually I was wrong, it is in the Superflow now. What I need to start playing with is positioning as well and have a good view on that a little bit better. I know a couple of Periscope traders have this side-by-side view, and they've been working with it for a while now. I still need to practice with it. I'm sure that there's going to be more context there that I can use. I know a lot. There's one in particular. His name's Puget Capital, I think was his name. He's gotten pretty good at a whole setup using all of the Greeks. I'll have him on sometime in March to go over his setup because I'm really curious about it. Because he, just like that Wants guy from Jay-Z's community in the Unusual Whales Discord, they're very fucking good at trading Periscope. And so I'm excited to have both of them on at some point to break down how they use it. Because I know Puget uses a lot more context than I do, and arguably a lot better at trading it than I am. So I'm really curious to have his takes on that. But for now, I'm going to keep it on one view because I haven't practiced.
Yeah, that positions is really I mean, it's your blueprint for the day essentially right there. Yeah. I mean, obviously a lot of... Ooh, we just dumped.
Yeah.
We just dumped.
It is too late for me to chase it, unfortunately. I should have paid attention to that 69.30. I got caught up on...
I was going to say, too, I really like Limitless's explanations.
Yeah, Limitless has done pretty good with Periscope. I'll probably sneak him in there on that same show. I just want to have like 4 or 5 different Periscope gamma level traders on at the same time because everybody's going to have differing opinions. Everybody's going to have differing strategies. And I just want to give people something more than my dumbass trading the same thing over and over again.
Or me asking questions about Periscope. But I mean, I think because I studied a lot of your stuff, I looked at Dan's videos. I mean, there's a lot to learn with Periscope. Like, it seems overwhelming at first, but
Dude, it's way more simple
like
than it should be.
yes,
It's
exactly,
I like to think of it
exactly.
as like there's a lot of context in the Greeks, and I'm frankly not smart enough for that shit. So I think of it like the visualization of gamma on Periscope makes it so it's like driving a car for a normal person. Like I can drive the car, I'll drive the hell out of the car. I don't know how the hell the engine works, but I don't need to. Like you don't need to be able to take an engine apart to drive the car. I don't need to be able to dissect the Greeks to drive the Greeks. That's how I feel about it. And that's why we have Dan always joining me for the Greek discussions, because I'm stupid. I see
You have
pretty
the bit
picture, I click green button.
you have the big brains tell you set it up and set
Yeah.
it all up, and they
I
sell
just
you the
know something works. I'll let the big brains tell me why it works.
Yep. You got some TSM puts kind of hitting the feed here a little bit. I saw a lot of
That could be some
TSM puts the
geopolitic
last.
related stuff too, though, on TSM.
Yeah, I
That's Taiwan Semiconductor, right? There's been some fuckery
yep,
going on over there.
yep. Actually, the last. Let me just pop this back to the last 7 days. I've There's been a lot of put flow coming in on that. Let me just. I mean, last 7 sessions. Look at this. I mean, and it's just been running for the most part there. I mean, just tons of put flow coming in here. Doesn't mean they're gonna necessarily be buying the puts, but just something to be cautious about. I mean, 6% out
Notably,
of the money with 2 days though. That's a
yeah,
little close
I'm not
for
into
me.
that. Notably, real quick on MNQ, coinciding with my Periscope levels, they did not make a new local low. If you recall, when I was in that last short, I really wanted them to take out this 280 from the last one. They haven't done that yet. This looks to be bear flagging a little bit on the 1 minute, but on, plenty of days, I've seen it just wick right out of this. Does TradingView still have a free draw? How do I do this shit? Get out of here, horizontal line. Do you have a free draw? Someone in chat smarter than me with TradingView. How the hell do I open free draw?
Go to the little
Oh, there we go,
paintbrush
right
thing,
there. Yeah,
yeah,
there we go.
and then brush. I always hit
Uh,
that thing and it pisses me off. So
this
I know they still have it.
this pattern that might be setting up here on the NASDAQ, I trade the opposite of it fairly frequently. Right now, basically, this next 3-minute candle is going to decide if this back down. But this little pattern, I trade the opposite of this to the downside. It's like, that is way too tiny. Jesus. That's way too small. Where are my settings? I'll just change. It's this W, right? This is a wick off pattern that I'm not smart enough to explain to anyone. This pattern tends to get bought back up until they invalidate the bottom shoulder of it, right there, which was that level I was looking for them to sweep earlier when we were still in the short. If they can't take that out and they hold it, my opinion's going to be back to the upside. Right now, I'm hopping in a small short. Very tight stop here. I'm only going to take a 10-point stop on this. The reason why is we're curling to the downside on this pattern here. See how it's forming a little U? If they stop me out, that's okay. That just means that W I was just talking about is going to start trying to play out. Get the shit off my screen. Now the drawings are bullying me.
Yeah,
But that's why I'm keeping
this
this stop so tight. If they get back above this little upside down U, this lowercase n that they're forming, if they get back above that, it's going to invalidate downside yet again, and they're going to come back up and test into these 330s. I'm not going to set my stop up there. Even if I'm right, I'm not sitting through 30 points of drawdown to be barely right, right?
You just had that 69. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. 69.20 negative gamma just grew a lot too, as well as the 69.30.
So what I want to see right here, right now, is a rejection before they take out the highs of this tiny range on the 1 minute. Otherwise, I'm going to let them stop me out, and I'm going to look for re-entry. There we go. There's my stop out. If they can get back up here... I wish I could just right-click. They can get back to this area, this purple line area, and reject. That means they're testing the bottom of that prior range up here near the highs and not buying back into it. That'll be my cue to go short one more time. But if I lose my next trade, I'm done for 2 hours trading. I try to go 3 and out so I don't overtrade. Kind of a new rule for me, because overtrading has been my downfall. Even when I'm winning, once you get into a mindset of a little bit more, you're going to get fucked up. So if I take one more loss on a scalp, I'm done for a minimum of an hour.
I like the little 3-and-out rule. That's a really interesting,
I've
nice
been
rule.
working
Especially, I mean,
so hard on patience and risk management.
it's tough. That positive gamma shrunk a lot at 69.25 too. I mean, a
Yeah, it did.
lot. So
What
that's
can you go up above? I want to see what the gamma above that's doing. What's that? It's falling off a
mm,
little at
well, no,
69.40.
I suppose I can
I'm
take
gonna
that
see
off
if they
there.
give me a full test of that 30 again. But if they reject basically right here, right now, I'm probably gonna take that same trade with the same stop. Well, I'll let you guys know. They did reject, but it's now down 20 points from the rejection. I'm not gonna chase it. That's
Yeah,
okay.
that
If
you
they
had
form
the
another stair step, I will have ample opportunities to get back in here. I don't
nice
think they're
flip
just
it.
gonna. I don't think they're gonna shotgun all the way down to that 69.20, or sorry,
Yeah,
that
well,
6900 evens. They
you got
might.
68.95 now.
Yeah. Man, I would
That's
love for them to
interesting.
turn my old target 292 into resistance because that opens us up for a 70-point drop, and I would be drooling for that.
I don't know what's coming in for the 0 days. I was when I was hanging out in the Unusual Whales Periscope area. I mean, it's getting a lot of 0 DTE SPXW action coming in here, so I mean it might favor some downside there. I'm still experimenting with this, trying to tone that up, but I mean, geez, they were just hammering puts all day on that. All day, and that's what got me on Friday too, because I was here on Friday, and I'll pop it back to Friday.
Gotta
That
get
end of
down
the
on
day, just
Friday.
massive. Oh God, it was like the 15th anniversary of that
Yeah,
song too,
don't. I
like
wasn't
a
gonna bring
month
that part
ago.
up, dude. God
Oh,
damn it.
well,
Back to just being old as fuck.
oh God.
I did jump back in that short, by the way.
Yeah, I mean it's. Was this Friday? Oh yeah, this is Friday. Yeah, this is what
I need
got me
them to
on.
sweep out this local low, or I'm just gonna take a $20 profit because I don't want to get bounced out of this again. Otherwise, we're just getting chopped up again. All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I don't blame you. Yeah, Friday. This is what got me because I saw all those 0 DTE puts coming in on Friday, and I'm like, that looks very, very good for maybe a towards end of the day sell off, and just got chopped up. So I mean, it happens.
It
It
happens.
happens. But yeah, I'm just looking. I mean, right now, what's coming in here? I mean, it's just all 0 DTE puts here. I mean, nice big hits coming in here, and
Oh, we know Anthony likes them big.
hey, and speaking of Five Guys, to the person who said they were going to cancel the subscription, actually I had Five Guys for lunch yesterday. Five Guys is
Oh, he
delicious,
saved it.
and
He
yep,
saved it.
yep. No, if not, you can sign up. I'll save you 10%. Don't worry. Um, Iron puts coming in here too. 227.43 puts.
Iron's been
Those
kind of a
things.
hot commodity this week, I feel like. We saw
Yep,
Iron on Monday, too.
yep. I mean, that thing's just been pumping the last 3 days. I mean, tons of net call premium here. Looks like maybe a cool off here. 2 days is a little short for me. 6% out of the money too. That thing probably get ate up. But look at the flow just for some context. I mean, look at that IV here, and you see how that IV decreases when it comes in here. Now, I mean that to me, I probably think they're kind of short puts, and just if you're new to trading, I always say just look at the option profit calculator, pop it in there, like tomorrow. Even if IREN drops 1%, you're still going to be red on those contracts. I mean, the risk to reward there isn't.
Kind of low.
Yeah, and I mean, look at that delta, and delta's kind of high on that, but theta is outweighing that delta. So I mean, you're going to need, if IREN just stopped today, we didn't move another penny, we open up tomorrow. These contracts are trading at, what was it, dollar, so they're going to be 60 cents there. You're going to need a $2 move to even break even on those. So I mean, that's just kind of how I look at those like really short-term weeklies. I see it with Tesla all the time. Like it's usually a Friday, somebody buys next week out, well, they trade next week's out puts, and they're like 15% out of the money, and I'll see some fun people on FinTwit posted, and they're, oh, look at the ask side puts on Tesla, we're gonna drop. Like, no, it's just a liquidity grab. Like,
Oh, we love those posts, don't we,
it's
folks?
yeah, that's yeah. I want to see if I can find one
I
here
do like
just for
seeing
an
you use the
example.
OPC for context there because a lot of people, it's underutilized. There's some stuff we need to work on and fix with it that is underway to make it a little cleaner. But just seeing what the effect that theta will have in the options profit calculator over the course of several days up to expiry is pretty good context to have, especially for trading those high IV contracts.
Yep. So here's a good example here. These came in on Friday, the 227 Tesla 315 puts. And let's just look at it here. So that's how it looked when it came in. It looks huge, like they're filling at 12 cents and the fill was 11 cents there. So I mean, first glance you'd be like, oh, they're buying above the ask. Well, number one, you don't buy above the ask. That's a whole nother subject. Um, just kind of look at that.
Tucker, do you still have that article handy that I had you spam on Monday? It's an important one about the national best bid offer.
I don't think I do. I mean, I can see if I can find it in our.
It might still be in the chat. Why Unusual Whales doesn't have an above ask below bid filter. Yeah, I'll find it in the chat quick and just ping you.
Cool. So yeah, like these, I mean, you see it at first glance and you're like, oh man, they're big, and like this is how it looks here too. So I mean, if you don't have if you don't have option knowledge and kind of understand how contracts decay, I mean, you'd read this and you're like, oh, that IV's increasing, that spot's coming at the ask. Oh, look, that spot increased. It's an ascending fill. They're buying these. But when you look at it through the option profit calculator lens here, I always look at it on that table. It just gives you that good visualization there. And
hey, NQ, could you assholes just lose 292 for me? This is so annoying.
I'll hit the dump button here.
Yeah, do that for me. Thanks, King.
So I mean, even by I can't go back obviously now, but these that theta 11 cents there, you don't even have a delta of 1. So I mean, you're losing 11 cents on those contracts a day if Tesla doesn't move, and you need a significant move to see profit there. I wish I had
for the uninitiated, that delta he mentioned, delta measures the amount that an option's price will change, or sorry, is expected to change for every $1 move in the underlying stock.
So like if we look at Tesla right now, and obviously I mean some of those bigger names like that delta is going to look smaller, like on like, well, Nvidia before they split, like you see that delta, it's like 0.10, but Nvidia was moving 20 30 points a day. So I mean that you take that into account too. But like now you look at those Teslas from Friday, they're trading at 5 cents. So I mean that whale's collected over 50% of that premium if they truly are.
All right, I'm adding into this move and moving my stop down to break even. Let's see what they give me. We're right at that support again. If they hard bounce this shit, I'm just going to take profit. Because I sized up, I got to tighten my risk up a little. I'm just showing people the way I trade. I'll lose about the same amount, but the stop is much closer to current price than it was prior. I'll keep you all updated. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it was kind of done anyways. But yeah, I mean, like if you're new and like you're seeing somebody there, oh, it reads as it's a buy and stuff, like, well, the internals of the contracts, the Greeks of the contracts. Well, I mean, Tesla could come out and who knows, files bankruptcy over the weekend. You just never 100%
All right, I trimmed half off.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, you can continue.
You just like never know for sure. Like, I mean, big news report comes out, Tesla dumps 100 points. I mean, obviously, then hey, they're a hero. But realistically, I see these Tesla puts all the time. Just keep an eye out on Fridays, and you'll see that. And I mean, it looks huge size, huge premium, and you get a little giddy. I mean, hey, somebody might get a. I mean, if Tesla dropped 3% on Monday there, and they're trading at like 13 cents, you're gonna see somebody. Oh, look, they're up 10%, 15%. Like, well, realistically, that's not a smart trade to take. I mean, what are the odds Tesla's gonna drop 24% in a week? I mean, very, very slim, again, unless there's news, which you just never know. But realistically, not something I would take. So just kind of be careful when you see those. And that option profit calculator, especially, again, new trader and you don't really know how contracts move, definitely just easily pull them. And it's so easy to pull them in there too, because you just click on that contract date. After you're done looking at the flow there, if you really, really like it, It's just up here, just pop it in, it'll pull that in. And you can do that for multi-leg trades too, which is kind of cool. So like these ALBs, I'm just going to grab them right here. So this is obviously not going to be a good example here of a multi-leg.
I added back once and trimmed again already.
There we go. Let's go. Like, this isn't going to be a good example. I don't think the profit calculator is going to pull this one in.
All right, here we go. Let's get this move. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I need
you're
them.
good.
If they don't sweep me at this damn 281 that they've been holding all damn morning, I'm going to flatten this. But we're back in double size. I want to see how they react to 292 again. If they wick it up, I'm going to lose a lot of these profits, but we're going to win regardless. We are now green on the day as well. And this is another reason I tell you guys not to shadow my shit, right? I'm in and out so fast and so often. I will eat 5 or 6 tiny losses in a row to catch my big move that, again, I double my size into the move and lower my risk. Prior to now, this stop right here was way the hell up here. That's way too much risk for this size, for the size of an account. So I've been trailing down on the 1 minute time frame. And honestly, I might flatten this now if they print this bottom wick on. But we're in profit for the day. Let me see what they give me here. I would love them to flush it. I would love a flush.
Wants to drop, man. Wants to drop.
I would love the
good volume there, too.
I'm going to trim half. Close out half of my stop. Leave my stop right there. And see if they give me the full move on this half of a... usually I'll trail down to the 1 minute. So here my stop should be way down here. But I'm leaving it like this just because these ranges of back tests have been pretty wide. And I got stopped out of 2 trades this morning that I shouldn't have gotten stopped out of, based on how the price action was moving. So I'm going to hang on to this for just a minute, see if they test my break even on me, and then give me that full measured move. But I'll keep y'all posted.
Yeah, good trade there. Good
All right,
trade. And like
back
you said,
to the flow, bro.
You take a small couple losses, not a huge deal.
Yeah, my win rate percentage is like 35%, dude. And
yeah,
I've been profitable all year. I've low key been killing it.
I mean, the successful win rate's like
you don't need
60%, I think. Like, that's considered a very successful win rate.
And that's when you're not doing this style of trading. Like, you have to be very tolerant of eating small losses over and over again to do what I do. And again, it's unnecessary to trade how I trade. It's unnecessary. Strictly, it's unnecessary. But I have a low tolerance for watching drawdown happen. So I would rather take these paper cuts over and over again and then add into the move when I'm proven to be right, than sit through a shitload of drawdown just to be wrong, if that makes sense. It's kind of an in and out, somewhat dangerous way to trade, but given the size I start with, it's a little safer. All right, we're getting that move here. I don't want them to stop at the midpoint. I want this to just go. That's what I want here. If they don't just go, guess what? We just had a banger trade anyway. Let's keep an eye on that.
Yeah, you're still in that heavy negative gamma. Too.
You know what sucks ass about TradingView? So when I trade props, they just kind of give you all the data and shit. TradingView, you have to pay extra just to get the 30-second time frame. Look at that shit. I'm not upgrading. But I do like using the 30 and 15-second charts to gauge trajectory, because those will just by way of how time frames work. The lower time frames will invalidate before a higher time frame. And so I don't necessarily marry myself to those lower time frames, but I use them in correlation with the higher time frames for the overall market trajectory. I am usually on the 1 minute, and I don't tend to go above the 5 unless I'm looking at options trades. Then I'll go to like the daily to see how their overall trajectory is. But for futures, like I said, I'm a scalper. I take paper cut losses to get a big win. So I stay on small time frames. If you ask Dan about how I trade, he just calls me a degenerate, and since I always short, he calls me a globalist.
Well, I like the 1 minute chart though too. I mean, I'm usually on the 1 minute chart most of the day. I mean, unless obviously you're looking for longer term trades, but that 1 minute chart, you get all that data in a minute. Versus, I mean, if you're on a 15-minute candle and you're scalping, there's so much movement within that 15-minute candle. Like, it's not. You got to have that kind of microscopic view on it just to see everything.
And that said, if you're someone who gets, so I don't get anxious much, but I do get hypomanic. If that's a thing, once you notice that shit happening, just flatten your account and fuck off for the day, because that's when you start over trading, when you get all giddy and shit. The guilty is charged on that right there. Right now I'm vibing. No hypomania this morning. But we did go from pretty red to pretty green on the day. We went
all
from
that
negative
matters.
250 on the day. Right now we're at positive 200. So we're vibing off of that trade. They still haven't stopped it out. No reason for me to close out these runners. But go ahead on what you're doing. If I make a video out of this, I'm going to have to chop so much shit out.
Oh, you're fine. No, I was just showing like if you're interested in multi-leg trades here, and this was a very ugly one that I pulled in too. I mean, I just always pop it into that profit loss calculator there, and I'm not a big spread trader, so I don't. I mean, I would rely on this more just because I'm not a huge spread trader, but it'll pull in the strikes and just give you some different potential strategies that it could be. I mean, I always think of multi-leg trades
I'm
as,
moving
I
my
mean,
stop to break even on this bounce. Now we
there you
cannot
go.
lose this trade.
There you go.
All right, go ahead. I'll shut up now. I'll give the synopsis of the trade when it's over now, so you can finish what you're talking about.
You're good. No, I mean like with the multi-leg trades like this, are you gonna tell me what's going on within this multi-leg trade? Like even if the profit loss calculator is telling you one thing, like are you gonna be able to get a true reading on something like this? Like,
And the
what
fills
they're
are kind of
doing?
messy to boot.
Yep.
All right, they
Yep.
got me on my runner. I'll let you know if I get back in.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we got some IBM calls coming in here. 515, 275 call. Does overlap earnings, but let's just go take a peek. Ooh, ugly candle here, so probably going to be a no there. Half bid, half ask.
Yeah, that's one of those that you need extra context for, I think. And
Yep.
it's like, just because you do see those 50-50s, just really quick from my point of view, a 50-50 is not necessarily a bad thing, because you can use context to form a better idea. And it does look like a lot of the midfills are just because the bid-ask tightened up to be identical there.
Yep.
So it's filled at the ask and the bid based on the NVBO there.
This may be a good example of
But,
that too.
50-50s aren't deal breakers. They just make you think a lot more. And dude, I'm stupid. I keep telling y'all this. I don't want to think too much. The more factors I have to think about, the less confident I am in my trading. And so if there's less data for me to look at and construe into what a trade might be, the better. And when I see messy 50-50 fills like that, it gives me some pause unless I see some other flow that correlates with what I think is happening.
Yep, yeah. I just tell people, let your eyes do the work on it. Don't sit and overthink the flow. If you gotta sit there and be like, well, this Ivy did this here and this did that here, then you're doing too much. You're doing too much there. Like this might be a good example of that, though. Like, okay, so IV's coming in here. It's up mid fill here. IV's at that 38.61. We're filling at that ask most of the time here. Small little drop there. So this is kind of what catches my eye too on those IV drops. Like if this is like one contract and it's dropping, not a huge deal. No, this is 39 contracts and a decent amount of premium from that trade there. So that's something that I will kind of revisit there. IV drops towards the end, but now here's some flow coming in at the bid. Look at that big size and premium, and then your IV really spikes here. So kind of like you were talking about adding in more context to that trade there. Now, again, something this messy, I wouldn't take a stab at it at all, but if you made me guess, I would probably assume they are
Oh man, that was a good stop out.
BTO on these. Did we pop again?
Yeah, SPX got a nice little push there.
What would you think? I would say these are probably BTO if you made me pick. I mean, just because you have that ascending fill towards the end here, the big size, the big premium, the
if
IV
gun to
spike.
my head, I'd lean that way too.
Yep.
But if I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't
It's
trade that contract.
Something I wouldn't even touch. Yeah, I mean,
I'd rather be wrong and miss it than be wrong and be balls deep in it.
90% of the flow that you look at is going to be junk. But I mean, that's the good thing about unusual whales. It gives you the chance to see that crappy flow so you don't get caught in that crap.
Yeah, like and Snorlax says it all the time too. Like 90% of flow is dog shit, nothing. It's just noise.
Yeah.
That's what filters are for, baby. Find the stuff that's not quite as noisy. And I would say that IBM's kind of noisy. This UUU is not actually quite as noisy. This is pretty...
They look like short
clean.
here.
This is clean. This feels
so
short.
IV drops when it comes in.
Like we have those two little taint tickles of ask in there, but meh. I'm leaning I'm leaning sold on these.
Yeah, it's spots dropping.
But look at the open
here.
interest.
I think that
There we go.
opened-
There we go. Go back
Oh,
to that
not
view.
guy. Oops. I got too many damn tabs open.
All right,
man.
we've got a confirmed new position right there. We're good. Ignore me on the open interest. So this is what I was talking about earlier. The size of that one order was bigger than all prior volume and the open interest confirmed. That 9,000 size order, at a minimum, through these series of orders, is guaranteed to be a new position. Although small ones technically could be not new positions, but I think they're lumped in with that 9,000 order. This is a new position guaranteed. Now, if you go all the way to the top there, Anthony, you'll be able to see the order I'm talking about. Yep, right there.
The 43.
Guaranteed opening trade. The size was 9,000. That's more than the 568 volume before it today and the 4,500 open interest combined. Guaranteed new position right there.
Earnings in a day, though, too. So
Yeah, it could be a little spicy.
Yeah.
That's a Jay-Z contract right there.
Yes, it is. Yes,
and if they are indeed sold to open, that is a bet on downside for those beginners to options transactions. Tucker, I'm going to send you one more link to spam to the homies.
Love it.
Actually, two links. One, indicators of unusual options activity. I post this one
Classic.
all the damn time. Snorlax wrote this one. And then the other one will be the ways options can transact. That breaks down buy to open, sell to open, buy to close, sell to close. Honestly, I need to update it because there are technically two other ways options can transact. One being execution, one being assignment. I need to add those.
I am looking. So since Tucker's doing that, I am looking at that move. Implied move is 8.34% on you here, and it has. I mean, last 16 quarters, you don't even have a full 16. Hasn't even hit an implied move yet. So definitely something to kind of take note of there too. Again, I'm not a big fan of earnings.
Another short might be setting up here, but it's too late for me to enter. I just wanted to point it out.
And all that fun stuff. But yeah, I mean, historical move, I mean, it's favoring those short calls potentially there. I mean, those calls were 22% out of the money too. And then you also have, with that 28 call, you have that 30 call to kind of go along with it too, which is 30% out of the money here. And again, large volume against that open interest. We'll see if it looks the same. Now, this one's a little tougher to kind of read. Now, this is what I was talking about a little bit in the beginning here, where it comes in as a block here. You don't have context before it or after it to really see anything. Again, just kind of combining it with that previous flow, though, I would probably lean their sold calls there. Again, 30% out of the money, pretty far, but with earnings, you just never fully know. But I would probably lean those. Use their you are short calls. I would probably lean that way for those two. Geez, here comes more IREN calls too.
Dude, I want to short again so bad, but my stop out would be about 40 points with a profit target of about 40 points. It's 1-to-1, arguably is an okay risk to reward, but you guys saw the trade I just took. I like much wider risk to reward. So I'm just going to hands off here. Even if I stop scalping this morning, that's a good win. We went from negative to positive, and we're positive, what did I say, about 200 bucks. That's a fine place to stop. Like I said, 250 bucks, especially if it's just a side thing while you work full time. Bro, come on. That's a secondary salary. You don't got to push it.
Yep.
Now that said, I'm guilty of pushing it.
Yeah, I mean,
full disclosure.
You're starting to get kind of mixed readings too on that spy.
It's getting a little choppy on MNQ, at least, right around that support at 292 that I was waiting for them for fucking ever today to break. And then they bought it right back above. So I'm not convinced we get more downside quite yet. We're going to diddle in the middle, I think, for a little bit. This could be another little stair step down. Little guy here, and then this could be. But I'm speculating we more so have an inverse head and shoulders here. And we might be ticking back up toward the upside here. This 324 is not even a level, by the way. That was just my new entry for an intraday. I'm going to actually delete that right now because I'll forget. And purple, why is it giving me like a shitload of them? Stop it. Stop it! Purple is the line I use for never delete this level. If Nate's listening, he's familiar with my purple lines. And this good old boy down here at 869.50 is the only purple line I have for the current MNQ contract. But anytime we hit that, I tend to try along with a stop below 850. Anytime we hit it from below, I tend to short with a stop about 15 points above. That level right there, that purple one, he's my boy. So I had to delete that one. Otherwise, in a week, I'd be like, where'd that level come from? And then I'd try to trade it and get blown up. Oh, the things. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's you're just chopping. I mean, that positive gamma 6925 dropped. It's in between those two heavy negative gamma spots, and I mean 6940 kind of looking like a possible little magnet there, especially if you get through that heavy negative gamma there. I mean, could really accelerate, and you still do have that positive gamma up at 6970. But I mean, like you were saying too, I mean, just kind of a mixed reading going on here. I mean, a lot of negative volume. Put premiums are still ask side. Call premiums are trying to go ask side. Overall market tide is, I mean, puts are pretty flat there. But again, that overall market tide, I always keep that top net impact chart up there too. You can switch between that top tickers by net premium and the top net impact. I just like to see what's contributing to those premiums more so there. I mean, it's a very easy visualization there just to kind of see that. I mean, it's a lot of volume here. I mean, so if you don't see that top net impact chart, you're thinking, oh, everything's very, very bullish. Well, hindsight, reality, NVIDIA, and MU are kind of your major contributors to that. Other than that, it's
Speaking of
just
NVIDIA, Snorlax just sent in our work server the that NVIDIA contract that Unusual Whales account posted yesterday.
yeah, I got it up here.
It just got another flurry of volume. And we'll break this down more. For those of you who don't know, we're doing a double header today. We're going to have another show during Power Hour going into earnings to cover NVIDIA. So we're not going to deep dive this right now. Just make sure you tune in at, say, somewhere between 3:15 and 3:30 Eastern time is when we'll start. Just pay attention to the Unusual Whales Twitter page. The link and everything, the schedule will be sent out so you can come in and join us with that. It's going to be fun. But more volume just hit that contract. I just want to pull it up quick.
Yeah,
it's equal size to yesterday's, but I don't think it's a closure, bro.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
They're up a bit, but not crazy. And given earnings right, you know, it's knocking on our door, dude. It's
no.
prairie dogging.
Yeah, I mean, quit. I won't spend too much time on it, but I mean, all that volume from the 23rd carried over. You had a lot of volume yesterday, but no. I mean, again,
Not
this
a
is
lot
where
of
that.
carryover from yesterday's.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. It's that visualization that I think is really key. You don't see any large, huge ask side candles. You know, Nvidia is a highly retail traded name too, so I mean, I don't see
NVIDIA is
any
a highly
signs
everything
of
traded name, man.
yeah. And I mean, I would assume, I mean, without verifying that open interest, I would assume they're probably adding to that position here.
Yeah, that's my assumption. I think we're seeing more buys here. No guarantees ever, especially with an implied. Jesus Christ, dude, I can't talk now. You're wearing off. Especially with open interest that high, there's no guarantees. But I would see that, especially on a name like Nvidia, when it's not up that much, and you know the people trading Nvidia with that much size have a shitload of money. They're probably not going to take a buck per contract profit. No guarantees on that either. Just kind of an assumption I'm making. But I would lean toward those being ads personally.
Yeah,
Especially since net call premium for Nvidia has just been through the roof
Yeah,
this morning.
things
Like
just-
Anthony was showing, if you look at Tide, all market Tide showing all premiums across the entire market, look how much of that Nvidia is making up. Net call premiums at 129 million. Go ahead and hover that green bar next to Nvidia. 81 million of that 129 net call premium, meaning ask side calls less the, well, technically added, but less the put. Ask side calls less the bid side calls. Nvidia's making up way over half of the net call premium in the entire fucking market right now. A lot of ask side calls transacting on Nvidia. Now, does that mean they're all long? Not necessarily. But just keep in mind, a good portion of those net premiums are specifically Nvidia. If you look at some of the other big names, like SPY is net negative right now. SPY itself, Tesla, net negative. Intel, net negative. Nvidia is carrying a lot of that net call premium. So I would speculate that those are ads, not close, personally.
Yeah, like the way I like to look at it too. I mean, you just have to visualize it too. I mean, without that Nvidia there and that MU, I mean, you're down about 120 million on the net call premiums, so you'd only be positive 100 or 9 million there. So I mean, that
Only,
premium's
only,
really, yeah, only,
only,
sorry.
only 9 million.
Oh, only 9 million. But I mean, you'd be seeing flat premiums more so on the day, which I mean kind of coincides with that chop a little bit that's going on there. But so I mean like versus yesterday, when you look at yesterday, it's like you have a lot more breadth coming in here, a lot more contributors to that there. So I mean, that's why I like kind of watching that top net impact chart there. Like this, I mean, you don't
It's
like I
important context to have for sure, because you might think, "Holy shit, the market's extremely bullish," and then you'll find out that it's all one ticker.
yeah.
You're like, "Okay, wait, man, that ticker is extremely bullish."
It's all Nvidia. Yeah, I mean, like I think I'm really good at scalping the market tide there. I really like scalping it. I mean, especially when you get days like this where it's just, I
Yeah,
mean,
and that's same thing. That's why on my, I'll pull it up again, on my super dashboard where I'm trading my Periscope, my super dashboard for scalping is strictly just that. It's Periscope, market tide, nothing else. I use that with my price action. I make trades. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to marry yourself to. There's no guarantees in it. It's just adding extra context. Like if you remember
yeah,
earlier, I got stopped out of that short that would have hurt really bad if I didn't. That's because we were dumping right here at just before 10 a.m. Eastern. We were dumping like crazy on SPY, but net call premiums kept rising. And I'm noticing that that's happening right now even. And now that we know that it's like all NVIDIA, it's making me form some assumptions for earnings a little bit.
and like the one thing too to kind of note about that and expand on the net premiums there, that net call premium, you don't know how long term these contracts, unless you go in and obviously research and do all that stuff. If you just look at this is that entire, all the option contracts. So they could be grabbing ask side calls 800 days out from here, and you're seeing that, and you're like, oh, we're going to go up, we're going to go up. Like, do some research, and it's so easy to just do that research. I mean, just easily click in there, and I mean, you're gonna, and I need to use this page a lot more too. It's a really cool page. I mean, you can see that net premium by expiration here. I mean, that's a tool I need to start using a lot more too, and you can see it by the strike there. I mean, there's so many little hidden tools that everybody kind of adds into Unusual Whales, all the devs and stuff. It's just there's a lot. I mean, there's almost something for everybody in here. It's
Oh, there
I mean,
definitely is. I mean, there's so many tools that I, even as an unusual person or employee, dude, I can't. You wore off on me so bad. There's so many tools that I don't even personally use. That's why I like having the affiliates come on, because everybody does shit differently, and I want users and viewers to see different ways of using different tools, because I'm kind of married to two tools. I'm married to Periscope and interval flow. I use my interval flow filter. I'm married to it. That's what I use to trade flow, and I use Periscope to trade intraday scalps. So again, that's why I was like, it's really cool that you actually utilize the options profit calculator to verify the potential outcomes of your positions, because I don't.
and I don't usually always pull. I use it just kind of more of an example. I mean, I can kind of tell you just by looking at the contract if it's a good
Right, you've
contract or
gotten pretty
not.
used to it.
But
Real
and
quick, I'm gonna take a piss break, so I'm gonna give them the quick little transition and then go back to your screen, and I'll be back in like a minute
cool,
and 2 or 3 shakes.
cool.
All you, brother.
All right. So Tucker, just you and me now, huh?
Oh yeah, first time. How you feeling?
Yep.
You scared?
First time for everything, huh? Hey, I interested in that video game collection behind you, man.
Oh, dude, I got also. Am I up on the screen?
Yeah, you're up on. I think you are. I don't know.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
No, I'm not.
oh,
But
it's just me. Cool.
yeah. Well, I mean, you got games behind you.
Yeah, I
What kind of
got.
games do you collect?
I Well, my two cabins back there are my Lego collection, but I have N64 back there. I have PS2. I have a couple PS1, 360, kind of everything. I gotta Next winter. My goal is I gotta get me a old Sega, get me a Super Nintendo. I kind of want to
Oh,
expand that
sick.
game thing. I stupidly was on TikTok and got caught on one of those lives of those guys that are showing off their game collection. I'm like, yeah, I need
Yeah.
to up my game collection a little bit more.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to get jealous. I'm pretty. I mean, you no. Unfortunately, no one else can see, but I've got a pretty good game collection. I got about 1,000 games. I got everything from Atari 2600 stuff all the way up to PS5, PSP, Vita, 360, original Xbox, DS, 3DS, Wii U, Wii, Switch, every PlayStation. I got a couple Genesis games, a couple N64, a couple SNES, NES.
It's so much better to have the like actual like physical game, like, because I can't stand the new systems. Like, I don't want to download a game every time I want to play it, man. I'd just rather
Mm.
pop it in and play it.
Yeah, no, everyone's people that are like very into digital are like, oh, I don't want to put in the effort of like getting up off the couch and playing. I'm like, you are a lazy bastard. That
Yeah,
takes
I mean,
such a little effort, man.
yeah, people are lazy, man. People are lazy.
This is very true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyone who's watching live right now, you guys game collectors? You guys like games? And now we wait 30 minutes for them to be able to
get a reply from the delay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, I've had all that stuff since I was a kid, but I mean, it's fun. It's fun. Those games, you can't beat those games.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat them.
What were some of the first games you remember getting?
Probably, well, I used to have a Sega and stuff too, like when I was little, obviously, but
What,
I don't know, I used to always be a big
Genesis,
Sonic
Saturn?
fan. Sonic, Mario, you know, the
Nice. What were the
good
Sega
fun.
systems you had?
I only had just the black, the regular Sega
Genesis.
Genesis or whatever,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Super Nintendo, I never beat Super Mario World, and I'm just like, I need to get a Super Nintendo so I can beat that game. Like, I just,
Sure.
oh, one of the most fun games around. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm a fan. I like that game.
he takes a long piss break, man.
That's why we had a whole animation made for it.
Man, I'm trying to kill time. I'm holding off on moving past here. I want to show him that big Nvidia spike back on 225, but
Yeah, we might take a way and go over that during Power Hour. Actually,
What happened?
Related to NVIDIA.
oh no, I was just
Oh, a
gonna,
deep dive on
when-
like the earnings potential and stuff.
No. I was just showing you the when we were talking about market tide and just kind of that 14-day
yeah.
premium. I mean, that's why I like.
I actually
kinda
have a really
seeing
good article for that too that'll have Tucker spam. Just there are some caveats to net premium on individual names.
Yep.
And there's a good video on it that I made as well. That's also going to be in the link.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, Tucker, we were just talking about games. We were just talking about games, talking about our game collection, man. You missed it.
I have like 500 games on Steam that I just straight up have not touched ever.
That doesn't count.
But this is the article I'm having him send. It just breaks down actually how to like read net premium, and then gives an example toward the bottom of when net premium can be extremely misleading. I highly recommend reading this article and watching the coinciding video. It can show you how I came to the statement earlier of don't marry yourself to it. The main thing here is this looks extremely bearish. Look at this massive dump in net call premiums. It turns out all that was a positional exit. That was somebody closing calls that had been opened prior. They transacted bid side. They had a negative impact on that premium, but it's not directional. It's not a bearish thing. Somebody just closed the position out.
No.
So definitely check that video out. You got several hours when we're done here before you have to come hang out with us again. The video's like 6 minutes long. I highly recommend watching that.
Yeah, really good video. I've watched that probably 6-7 times. I mean, it's just nice to see other people's view on stuff too. I mean, like, it always have to be a student of the game. Like, if once you start thinking you're,
Dude, I'm learning shit all the
you know,
time. I
everything,
mean, I was
it's-
anti-gamma for fucking 4 years. I've only been using Gex for like 6-7 months, dude. I was so, like I said earlier, I don't want too much information. It makes my stupid brain be like, okay, what am I looking at then? But once we got Periscope as a visualization of gamma, I was like, oh shit, I've been wrong for 4 years. I'm the asshole. And now I'm married to it. Like, I won't trade without it now. You're always gonna learn, man.
no,
You gotta be open to learning.
gotta.
Like, nothing
Yeah.
is cut and dry. Even if you're like Anthony's got a paid server for his Discord, but he's constantly teaching stuff and people actually learn. and then apply that themselves. You got people in there taking trades and shit that you don't call out. That
Nope.
should be your goal. Even if you join a call out service, your goal should be able to fish for yourself. Because call out services, if it's strictly a call out service, which exists in mass, as I'm sure you've seen on FinTwit, you're not learning anything, and everything you're doing is at the whim of what someone else says. That can get dangerous. That's why, usually I talk mad shit about paid servers, but I don't about Anthony's because A, it's not ridiculously priced, and B, he actually teaches shit. Like in cases like that, you're paying for an education, not for call outs. I think it'd be you'd be doing yourself a huge disservice to join a service like that and not learn. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's
Well,
like,
and I stream like I mean
constantly.
that's my big thing. I like the streaming, the teaching part of it. Like
Yeah, he's not getting anything extra from joining us today. I'm not letting him put like a link to his classes and shit anywhere. He's not getting anything from this other than he enjoys it and it's fun. Now, granted, there's a little bit of promo because you're here, but like he's not selling you shit on the show. He's just teaching you.
No, I sold him my 10% off.
Oh yeah,
Unusual Whales, but I did that.
No bias, no bias.
Yeah, no bias on that one.
All right, guys, we're probably gonna wrap up in the next 10 or so minutes. So if you have any last second ticker requests, drop that shit in here. Give us something to break down. I am not gonna take another scalp right here, right now. We are still diddling right around my support. This right here is 50-50. Because I'm actually going to put a line on the high of day here. And it is not going to be purple, because then I'll be confused later. Right now, we're trapped within this range from 361 down to 292, my support. This is the range that they're diddling in the middle of right now. Until they break below and hold it as actual resistance instead of just buying back up again like they did earlier to stop out my runner, they're diddling in the middle. This is a 50-50 spot where they can go up or knife back the entire move from the morning. This is a hands-off situation. Again, most of trading is waiting, even for scalpers, dude. You're waiting. You're waiting for the setup. You're waiting to see where they're going to take price before you try to do anything. I can see the argument for upside here. They're holding the support repeatedly. But they're not breaking out of this little range. And until they do, there's no reason to believe they're going to go higher. And genuinely, unless they take out this local high from 930 Central at 342, the position, again, is still just staying in a 50-50. There's an argument here that this is a bull flag. That's a good argument, and I won't disagree with it. But I've seen bull flags break down just as often as I've seen them realize themselves. So it's a hands-off spot until I see what they're going to do. I still had one of those little U's drawn. I had to delete that.
Yeah, it seems like you want to kind of chop in this range. I'm just looking at the market tide right now. I don't have the actual prices up, but I mean, you're getting that kind of choppy-ish range between that 691 and 690 there. I mean, dollar range. And this is a really interesting stat that I found. Oh crap, I'm going to see if I can go find it quick here.
Digging.
Yeah. I was just talking about it yesterday. Since I don't want to say it because I messed up the date last time I said it, so I gotta go find it here. It's from Friday, I believe.
He actually was getting down on Friday. God damn.
Hey, I haven't taken a day off of the market.
It's like I haven't had pants on in weeks.
Oh, I got shorts on right now. We're good. We're good. I got shorts on. Don't worry. Oh, no, that's not it. Talk about something while I try to find this.
I was just going to let you hang and suffer with the dead air. like when I'm doing one of the Unusual Whales panels and Twitter just dies and kicks everyone off my panel. I'm just like, hey, guys, what's up? Oh, I'm here.
I found it so that you killed my time.
I did it. Look at me go, dude.
The S&P 500 has seen its tightest trading range to start a year since 1966. The difference between the S&P's high and low close this year has been just 2.67%. So it seems very, very volatile, but we're stuck in that range right now. It's very interesting, and
I wouldn't have even thought that. But to be fair, I'm watching NQ all day, and you know how that fucker moves. It feels so much more dramatic intraday than it actually is. That's why, like, when we have like a down 2% day and people are freaking out, I'm just like, yeah, just wait till tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, just zoom out on the chart and look. Like you're looking at too much intraday stuff there.
I had a guy in chat a month ago maybe who was harping on downside for the markets. And I was like, yeah, but go ahead and switch to the yearly and find me a single year that went down and didn't get bought back up. Like the US stock market's going to go up, man. Like if
Yeah,
you've been in shares for 3 years, even if the market dumps 30% out of nowhere, black swan event, COVID style shit, worse than COVID style shit, what happens every single time? Gets bought back up eventually.
goes right back up. It's
Unless
a
you're
buying
like
opportunity.
90 and you bought the highs, don't give a shit about it. Like truly, don't even look at your stuff. Just keep doing your normal investment. Now, granted, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. That's just kind of my take. Like if I don't have much of a shares holding, liquidated a lot of that to help with family a couple years ago. But I mean, I'm a trader, not an investor anyway, so grain of salt from that on top of everything I just said. But generally speaking, man, SPY goes up. It just does. I mean, we dipped really hard during COVID. I bought a single share of SPY at 426.9. I had to do a really weird limit order to make it work, and I got it. And then it happened again in what 2020? I'll check quick so I don't talk on my ass. But I did it in 2021, and then I got to do it again. And where are we now? Almost fucking 700 SPY. Like,
Yeah, well, even like last year when the tariff stuff was going on at the beginning of the year, that big dip, I bought December calls and I sold them way too early, and I'm just like, dude, like, I think I sold them for like 30%, and I'm like,
oh, and then you came back a week later and they're like 800%. You're like, well, I suck at this.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, I always like, I'm always posting.
Base hits are good. You and Jay-Z share that. You
Yep.
take, at most, you leave runners past that 30%, which is a good way to be. It's repeatable, it's consistent, and you've been full-time trading for years now. And you leave runners for home runs every now and again, but you're hitting those base hits repeatedly, and it's profitable, and you're living off it. Like, why the hell not?
I mean, like, the odds of you consistently hitting like 500% returns, and that's one thing I think too about
and anytime
Twitter,
you see like even like Jay-Z hits it a lot, but it's always a runner. Like it's a very tiny portion of his position is doing that. And I just want to be clear: if you have a furu that's buying 1,000 contracts and claiming to hold that shit the entire time to 10,000%, they're either full of shit or trading paper. I'm sorry.
Yep.
No trader should be holding their full position past even like 100%. You should be trimming that shit. Because 100% is a banger trade in and of itself. If you're not taking most profit, at a minimum, to make that trade free, if your remaining position goes to zero, stop it. Start doing that, please. I have seen way too many people, even in the Unusual Whales community, hold shit to 10,000% and then sell it for a loss or go all the way to full loss. Like, don't do that shit. I mean, leave runners, sure, but don't make it after you're in profit. Don't make it so that if it goes to zero, you lose it all.
Exactly.
Lock in some damn profit.
Like a really good example too, like especially if you're following the float, like you don't know what that whale is doing. Like
absolutely not. I'm a big supporter of just because the whale's in doesn't mean you should be. Like,
well, I mean,
is the whale still in is a question I get a lot about flow. And if you're in a trade, whether that whale is in or not should be irrelevant. Trade your plan. If you're up 150% and that whale's still in and you're like, oh, do I sell? As soon as you ask the question, do I sell? The answer is yes.
Yes. Well, like you look at the T calls that we talked about on, was that Monday too? I mean, they were up 200% on Monday.
Yeah, look at them now.
I mean, yeah, they're back to break even. Like, should you be, like, and that's the thing too, like, should you still be in that trade? Like me, if I'm smartly trading this, like, okay, I'm up at 87, I'm on Monday, oh, we're dropping down to 75, 76,
if I'm in
I know they
contracts there, by the time we hit that high, honestly, that happened right out of the gate on open. On this run up on the 23rd there, I would have trimmed down to one contract, and boom, if that contract goes to zero, it doesn't matter. I still made money.
Well, even yesterday,
runners, I mean, runners are fine, but you shouldn't be holding shit a whole position to 10,000%. That's just greedy and it's dangerous.
Well, and like even yesterday, like the contracts are trading in the mid 50s, like you're still up. I mean, 100%. Like, why are you still in that trade, knowing that these expire in 2 days? I mean, and when they're in the money too, that's a whole different thing. So that's why I kind of don't like sticking within the money, deep in the money contracts, because if they exercise them, you're not going to know that till tomorrow.
You might not. Yeah, you're not going to know it because no volume will transact.
Yep.
When contracts get exercised, which means they have exchanged those contracts for the equivalent value in shares, which is 100 shares per one contract. If they do that, you will see no volume because those options aren't transacting, they're executing. And then you'll see the open interest drop the next day and be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, just
Yep.
because the whale's in doesn't mean you should stay in, is my
Yep.
opinion. I know a lot of people use it as part of their strategy. I do not. I have seen way too many massive, expensive positions run up hundreds of percent and then expire worthless. I've seen it happen way too often. If I'm up 100%, I'm taking my goddamn profit.
Yeah, I mean, this dude was sitting on over $1 million, and now they're
Break even.
sitting
And for
on...
all we know, it was a hedge to begin with. You know, like a
Yep.
short-term hedge for their short shares, for example. Let's say they're short a shitload of shares, so they long calls to offset losses as the shares go up. That could absolutely be what this is. And then if it didn't go up a lot and then the stock dumped again, they're now more profitable on their short shares than those calls could hedge. They're not going to care. It's a cost of doing business. They will let it expire worthless. That's
Yep.
it's just something you have to keep in mind.
and,
There's
and
no
you
way to
don't
know
know
for
if it-
sure unless you are that trader.
Yep, and you don't know if it's multi-leg. I have a really good highlight here that I just want to share from my...
Oh, sneaky multi-legs that don't transact at the same time?
Nope. This is a single leg that... Oh, well, yeah, actually, okay. You got it. Just ignore it there. My brain's thinking about food now soon. Like,
Yeah,
what's
as
for
soon
lunch?
as she mentioned Culver's, I was like, fuck yeah, also I want it now, hurry up.
So like this one. So this was back in November. Like you will not 100% convert or know it, but I mean just look at that timing. I mean 15 seconds apart, very similar sizing, very similar premium, but when you actually look at it, it's not multi-leg, but they don't show multi-leg. Now, are those two related to each other? We don't know for
They
sure,
might even be
but
kissing cousins. We don't fucking know, dude.
yeah. I mean, like with so much screen time, like I can look at this and I'm telling you, okay, yeah, these are 99% sure they're related, but I mean, it's like that's the thing too. You don't know if it's part of a different trade, and just saying, oh well, it doesn't show multi-leg doesn't mean that it's not multi-leg in some
Big
different
true.
facet.
Now, if it does show up as multi-leg, it's definitely multi-leg. I want to be
Yep.
clear about that.
Yep.
But just because something doesn't, that's why we keep harping on context. Like, if you see really cool flow, just go to the ticker's main page, its overview page, and see if anything else either coincides or goes against that. And sometimes you'll find what he found there. I'm also pretty certain that that's a sneaky little spread. Just because they don't fill at the same time doesn't mean somebody's not taking two positions that contrast.
Yeah, just let your eyes do the work. Like if you start overthinking stuff and trying to make it fit your, oh, I want this to be a call, I need to make money, like, well, you're gonna probably get hurt.
Ask us how we know.
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong, I've had some massive wins, especially after. I actually didn't make that much money on the meme craze. I made some on Tilray, but I was already in that to begin with when it got squeezed. And I was actually kind of pissed it got squeezed because the news that they had was actually decent news at the time, but also Tilray kind of, I won't harp too much, but their leadership leaves you wanting. I'll say it that way. They're not great.
I made a little on AMC, but that was during the pandemic, and I'm like, hey, AMC's, I mean, movie theaters are gonna open. I was just kind of trying to use some logic,
My
like, hey, maybe they'll
first-
start making some money.
My first over 100% win was right at the beginning of the COVID shutdown, right as it was happening, on Campbell's Soup. I had a small position in Campbell's Soup puts, and right when everything dumped initially, Campbell's dumped like 40%. And let me tell you, that gave me some delusions of grandeur a little bit, because that was my first like actual big win, and I was like, oh shit, and then I lost half of it on my very next trade.
I mean, that was a very tough.
You can't
time
get
to
married
trade,
just
like,
because you hit, like, let's say you hit a trade that's like 1,000% winner. That's not fucking normal, and I want to be very clear about that. Don't hold positions to do it again. Take your profits. Like that's an outlier trade. If you're hitting 20% to 100% base hits consistently, that should be where you're taking your profit. And you can leave runners for the grandiose maybe, but you shouldn't be leaving a full position, I guess is my only point. Just case in point, 2, maybe 3 years ago, I played a meme run up on SOS when they, the ticker SOS, this random ass Chinese company that's changed its sector like 5 times, has been squeezed like 5 times. I played it. I made 13 grand on 50 contracts that I bought for 1 penny each. Overheld it, took a total loss on that position. Take your profits, man.
Yeah, you see something that big, and you're like, it's gonna keep going. Like
Yep.
that's where the
Guess what? It
that's where
didn't.
the psyche comes in.
It's the same as like, oh, it can't keep going down. Oh, it can't keep going up. Yes, it can, and often will. So you know,
Yep.
manage your
It's
risk.
like the people that bought Piton back in COVID.
Oh,
like they're probably
God.
it's gonna keep coming. It's not.
I still
gonna
know a
keep
couple
going
people who
down.
bought Tilray in the 70s, dude, pre-split. Like, fuck. You can't get married to that stuff. It'll hurt.
No.
It'll hurt.
No.
It'll feel really cool when you hit once, but then you're going to keep trying to hit, and it will not hit again, and you'll just lose all of your profit.
Start averaging down.
I wish I had so much of the experience and information I have now back in, like, 2018. You could save yourself a world of hurt. And we're not like telling you how to trade here. We're just giving you context of the suffering we've personally experienced, in hopes that you don't have to also. I just want to show this is something you can be full-time worker. You can work 3 jobs and still make a little bit of side money doing option stuff. If you have a lunch period and there's a setup for a scalp, you can do that. You don't got to be rich to start trading, but you do have to manage your risk no matter what size you're trading. Don't be like me, circa 2022 and a little bit of 2024 and 25. All right, I think we're dried up here.
Yep, my feeds are dry now.
This is kind of always a lull space. Sometimes I catch some lunchtime scalps here, but I think we're going to be hands off and just take that $200 win today. We went from red to green. I ain't going to complain about that. I'm going to bring Tucker back into the fray. Let's see if his camera works on this view. Dude, I don't know what the hell's going on with this shit. Properties.
Blame it on me. Blame it on me. Remember?
I'm gonna go full screen Tucker. It's just gonna be a black screen until I figure out what the hell's going on. It is set correctly. What's going on here?
Huh.
Weird.
Just blame
All right.
Jay-Z.
I guess you don't get
If he would have
Tucker.
been here,
Yeah,
it would
wait.
have
Can
been
we do
fine.
that? Can we blame Jay-Z? Yeah.
Yeah, it honestly is his fault, most likely. There we go. All right, it's showing up now. It's showing up. All right, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold it. I fixed it. Look at me go. Technologically advanced.
There we go.
All right, everybody.
Low, but...
If you came in late, don't worry about it. You can rewatch this whole damn thing right here on Twitter where you're watching it now. It'll just be there. Twitter doesn't really have a place to house videos, so you'll probably never find it again unless you're here now. But it is on YouTube in the live tab. And again, tune in later. Sometime during Power Hour. It'll get tweeted out beforehand, so just pay attention to the Unusual Whales Twitter feed. We'll be live again with Jay-Z, Anthony, myself, and Tucker, and we'll be going over some earnings shit.
Oh, you're forcing me to go on again?
Yeah, I figured you'd want to.
Okay.
You don't have
Okay.
to.
Okay.
You don't have to.
I think you want to, don't you?
Yeah, we need to bully Jay-Z a little bit for...
Yeah.
True.
The losses we took before we won, his fault, just by default. But probably around 3:15, 3:30 Eastern time, we'll be live again going over earnings flow specifically and keeping an eye on NVIDIA into earnings. And if I'm feeling spicy as shit, I might take some future scalps off of the market reaction to NVIDIA. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to play by ear. I'm not going to put a bunch of risk on. But I get a little degen too. If Jay-Z can fling random-ass 0 days for earnings as lottos, I can trade a single MQ contract to see what happens with NVIDIA. No matter what happens, it's going to be pretty hard for me to lose today's profit with a single MNQ contract. But we'll play it by ear. All that said, this has been Whale Watch, homies. Thanks for kicking it with us. Thanks for Anthony filling in when Jay-Z abandoned me in the street and he never came back with that milk and cigarettes. And we'll see you guys in a couple hours. Thanks for kicking it, homies.
See you guys.
See you guys.